Here we go. All right. Oh, I should have give you a warning. My bad.
You're fine.
Man, got the iconic hat on. What's up, everyone? So we haven't done this in a while. It's been quite some time, but we are here with Cobra Kai, and it makes me really happy to be back with my boy Omni Media.
Hell yeah.
Um, I think we did it live for season 3, 4, and maybe 5. I think.
I
Can't
think I'm pretty
remember.
sure. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we've
So
talked about it every time
yeah, at this
since
point, it's
we've
been a
been doing
tradition.
this.
Yeah, at this point, it's really been a like an annual or tradition type thing. So it makes me happy to continue that up. But there's a lot to talk about. Even though we only got 5 episodes, they crammed a lot into this. And on
Mhm.
top of that, there's a lot to talk about for like upcoming stuff, whether it's the next 2 parts, which is one thing I'm excited about. But I first want to start off with like how do you feel with them breaking it up into 3 parts?
I get it. I get it. Like from a marketing perspective and Netflix numbers, because that's all they
Mhm.
care about at the end of the day. So like,
Yeah.
w- if they dropped it all at once, that's people tuning in 1 month, peacing out. We're
Mhm.
done. So you need to at least get them coming back for one of the shows that they know people are going to show up for, at least for 3 months.
Nah, yeah, and I get that,
And I
man.
think,
At the same
COVID had a part of that, from
Oh,
what
yeah, yeah.
Machio was saying about the reason some of it wasn't ready yet in general.
That makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
'Cause I was watching him on Jimmy Fallon last night, and, it was something he had brought up about the way they decided to parse it out. It's because they got interrupted and or delayed rather, because I think they had to wait until it wrapped up because they were still writing while
Okay.
everything was going on, and then, of course, there's the writer's strike,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I mean, it's been a mess.
yeah.
Honestly, it's been really rough. I feel like with television in general, and specifically for shows that are, like, bundling all the episodes up, you know?
But
But,
it seems like they, like, at least and I don't know, maybe it just factored out this way on its own, but it kinda it wrapped up in, like, a wrap-up spot,
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
it
for
it felt
sure.
like it felt like we concluded an actual pod of storytelling, and you kinda hit, like, that mid-season finale wall, even if it is a third of the season.
It kind of felt like honestly, everything was running smoothly for me until the last episode, where
Mhm.
I feel like that last, like, 3 minutes where they jump, like, 6 months in the future, that really caught me off guard. Like, I thought the Sekai Taikai was gonna be a big, like, thing at the finale. It was gonna be like a finale type deal, and maybe this will be stretched into the finale, but,
That's what I'm kind of concerned
yeah,
about, like, or curious about rather, is the next pod the tournament? Like,
yeah,
and then if that's the case, if it's not both pods, the both of the remainders, like, if it's not the final 10 episodes, then what are the last 5? Like,
yeah.
if we wrap up the tournament in the next 5 or whatever, what's after that? Like, it's just I got a lot of questions, man.
Yeah, and we know we're getting the movie, but from what I heard, it's not really gonna be heavily connected to
No.
Cobra Kai. I mean,
Well, I
it's
think that was pretty apparent in this when you're just like, "This is my karate swung song." I was like, "Well, that's not what." I was like, "Well, that was we know that line was written before
As
Sony said
yeah, for
anything."
sure. But, realistically, I'm excited to see what they do. I don't know what to expect, but I'm really hoping it's just pure action at this point. I don't know remember how much they told us about the Sekai Taikai. I don't know if it's essentially just, people versus people fighting, or if they're gonna be measuring other skills like, chopping boards or some crap, I'm really hoping
Mhm.
it's just pure action and the intensity of that stays up. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I'm looking forward to.
They haven't
But,
really they didn't I mean, like, when they were qualifying, like, they were looking
yeah.
at different things, but, like, they've never as far as I remember, they haven't really mentioned what types of competitions.
Yeah.
Like, when we did the last All Valley, they shook things up by making it different, it
Mhm.
wasn't just straight matches, like point matches, like they did the katas, they did the technique performances and all that kind of stuff, weapons training, and then they had the traditional tournament and all that. But then that was for that. So like I don't know what they're looking at here. I don't think it's been said. If it has, I don't remember it.
Nah, I get
So
that, and,
I would like a straight up just like brawl. Let's just
that's
throw
that's
hands.
what I want. That's really all I want, and I know that, might be a lot to ask. I don't even know if that's a lot to ask for, but realistically, the action is what really drives me to this, like,
Mhm.
the fact that, I was rewatching the last, like, few minutes of the finale while I was editing, and I'm just like, it's crazy where we started with just a karate show and how intense they managed to make some of these moments. It's just
Mhm.
so crazy how they ended up, doing certain things, like the music that was playing when Tori, the big reveal at the end. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
it was beautiful, but it all comes down to the fact that this all started off as a high school karate tournament, and it just impresses me so much with what they've been able to do, and I don't know, but the tone of this season compared to some of the others have been a little different. I feel like the first 2 episodes were so much more lighthearted than
Oh
we've ever
yeah.
gotten. Did you feel that, or am I tripping?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is because, or at least like they said, like pretty much they've, in their eyes at that point, they've buried all of their villains.
Okay.
Like they're not even aware Kreese is actively doing anything until they make it to the Sekai Taikai. They had no idea he was there. Tori and Robbie are the only people that knew about him prior, and they kind of locked that off from leaking out because they tried
Mhm.
to like contain that whole thing. So like everybody else is just kind of dealing with their own drama, and for the most part, without Cobra Kai and these divisions, since everybody who does the karate stuff is in one place, it's like all of the animosity melted away because there's literally no more tribalism at play. So Kyler, with it gone, is basically just like the best he's ever been.
I know, yeah, that was
Like,
honestly, I hated him. I had a lot of hate for this character, but to
oh,
see
me
them
too.
in such a different place, to see Brooks, like, it felt realistic, It's like once you leave high school, a lot of the stuff that happened in high school, a lot of it does shape you as a person, a lot of it matters,
Mhm.
but realistically, like the beef and all that stuff, you wanna push it by. So when
Yeah.
Brooks and Hawk had that kind of face-to-face moment, I feel like that was just a beautiful kind of full circle moment where he was like, "Yeah, yeah, look, I got new teeth from when, you know." And it was just really cool to
You
see
play
them kind
karate
of come to
games, you
terms.
get karate prizes.
Yeah, and I love that. And, I think their, team up that they had was probably one of my favorite moments in the series
Mhm.
because of the fact that, like, we went from so many different obstacles to, like, Robbie and Miguel beefing to the end of season 3 where Miguel had to fight Kyler off of the broken back, just a lot of it, we've had all these bad guys, but now we're at the point where everyone's just kind of like, it is what it is, And it's
Mhm.
like it really takes something realistic, something more than just hey, you took my girl for there to be
Right.
actual beef. And I think we kind of see that with the ending of the season with Tori. Like that is a justifiable reason to kind of go back to your old ways.
Yeah, it took something a little heavier because even Johnny was trying to mix that stuff up by sabotaging them, and it was, like, just showing how far they kind of all matured on both sides, like, that building to that conversation between Sam and Tori at the sleepover,
Mhm.
where he was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, they're finally gonna do it."
Dude, that entire sequence, I'm just like, "This dude's being an idiot." Like, how does he think this is gonna play out? But anyways, I don't know if we got your mic on, my boy Ant. You alive? Don't know if he's alive, but anyways, yeah, we got, that entire sequence with, there he is.
I'm
How you
here.
doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, man. I'm good to have you a part of this. But, as we were saying with the whole, Tory and whatever it was situation, I was really interested with how they were handling, the kind of fall of her mother.
Mhm.
'Cause, I mean, that's something that I feel like they've been building up for a while, and the theories and everything, people are like, "Oh my god, it's Julie. Like, her mom's Julie." And I'm just like, "I don't think it is, dude."
I feel
And,
like we would have known by this point if her mother was somebody.
oh, for sure. And I honestly was thinking that they were gonna show, like, some cool reveal,
I know
and then
some
we end
people
up
think that
finding
maybe
out,
the dad after that flashback might be, Dutch.
"Oh, yeah." But th
But
we got a Dutch reference too,
I feel
right?
like we would know. I think
But
Kreese of all people looking because he looked up her form, found her home address. He of all people would be able to make that connection if it existed, I would think.
And honestly, I think the best thing is that we did get a Dutch reference in the season,
Yeah.
which I thought was really, really fun.
Mhm.
With them just casually talking about how Dutch is back in jail or he's in jail, and it's like
Still,
a whole
yeah.
thing, and it's just always funny to hear, like, all this different Cobra Kai, like, the past of them, because realistically, Cobra Kai was a little gang,
Mhm.
So it's like, the fact that some of them are in prison is kind of funny to me. Shouldn't be the funniest thing, but it is. But, it's always interesting to get some of these callbacks or just references in general. Um, but if there is a character, do you wanna see Julie Pierce pop up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been, like, fighting for that for seasons now, man, and I feel like I'm one of the few. The
Yeah.
proud.
Realistically, I'm gonna be so honest, because when I first saw, The Next Karate Kid, I think I was like I was too little to understand what a good movie was. So it's like, when you watch a lot of things when you're younger and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Oh, this is a bop, like, this is really good." I know if I watched it when I was older, I probably would've been like, what are we doing?"
I
But
have rewatched it
realistically
since
you
the
did?
show's been out, and yeah, it's I mean,
Because
I feel like part 2, 3, and next are all just not
yeah.
anywhere on the first one's
Oh,
level, but they're
100%.
all kinda in the same area.
It all
It's
comes
just
down
I
to,
think
like
enjoyability is what kinda
oh,
fluctuates between
100%.
them because 3 is kind of batshit insane, but it's, like, so much fun to watch, though. But if you, like, think about literally any of it, it's kind of like, it's literally a fever dream.
Yeah, and I think it all comes down to, like, nostalgia as well.
Mhm.
I mean, realistically, if you showed me Shark Boy and Lava Girl for the first time right now, I'd be like, "Why are we doing this? What is this?" But I can watch that right now, and I can still be like, "Oh my god, this is a bop. This is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
loving it."
until, Cobra Kai season 1 came out, I didn't even I thought I this is no joke. Until the first season of Cobra Kai came out, um, and I wanted to go back and actually start like a rewatch. Up until that point, I thought there was only The Karate Kid and The Next Karate Kid. I had
Maybe
0
that's a good
idea.
thing.
I had 0 idea there was a part 2 and part 3, and then I watched those before season 2 came out.
So I'm a little older, so I remember when part 3 came out, and it was like, this supposed to be the same year? Because it was obviously not.
Yeah.
And then when
And
Next Karate Kid came out, it was more like as a kid, you're like, where's Daniel's son? I don't want to,
Mhm.
I don't want like,
But I think it's really cool because Cobra Kai, I feel like it's not the same as a lot of other spin-offs. A lot of other spin-offs kinda ride the coattails of what came before, and I really hate to say that, but, a lot of other, shows I've watched, I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for this character to pop up. Can't wait for this to happen. I can't wait for this to happen." But realistically, Cobra Kai is one of the first, actual spin-offs that I'm just like, love I love the show for what I honestly might I don't know if I wanna say this, but I kinda feel like I have more love for it now than I do for the original movie. I mean, and that's crazy to say, but, like, a lot of these characters are so much I just love them so much. They're likable on their own. It's just I don't know, I
This
love
is
the
one
hell
of
out of them.
those things that I think makes the original stuff better.
Mhm.
Like, for something that kind of falls short of even, like, the original, like, part 2 and part 3, and, like, if you're, like, looking at them as, like, a serious movie or anything like that, like, I just feel like the first movie is just on an island compared to the rest of the
Yeah.
films when you, like, compare them side by side, but, like, the show has done a really good job at acting as, like, a companion piece to all of that to where it's, like to me, it's, like, the show is retroactively elevated those movies, uh in a way you don't really see with a lot of legacy spinoffs too much.
Mhm.
I
And
think for
I and
everything else, oh, sorry.
No, 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 go ahead.
No, I think for a lot of things we've seen brought back, it hasn't felt like a natural organic growth from the original
Mhm.
story to where these characters could end up
Mhm.
and where you saw the trajectory. And I think that not only did it embrace the stuff that came before it, it also called out some of the ridiculousness of the 80s. Like just, but in a
Yeah.
way that like
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
Terry Silver was snorting lines every day.
There was a shot in the finale of like this part 1 where they have an airplane landing, and I don't have to be, born in the 80s to realize how much of an 80s shot that was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I feel like they've done some things just so seamlessly, like, perfect. It's just been really, really cool for both people. Like, again, my little brother watched Cobra Kai first, and now he was over here watching all of the other, like, the older movies just to understand the references for Cobra Kai. And I just think that's one thing that this show is doing so well is they're able to introduce like a whole bunch of new people to this wonderful franchise. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of these other spin-offs don't do that well. Again, I feel like they just rely so much on the nostalgia. The story just isn't able to really stand on its own.
Like it's weird magic it kind of pulls off that I've seen done in other things a little bit. Is that I'm talking to other people who have come in to Cobra Kai and they didn't, watch the show originally. It does this thing of like having this reverence for what came before. So to the point where even if you don't know what it is, it almost tricks you into having nostalgia for something you weren't really there for. And like for me, like I've experienced that with like one or two things too, like where like maybe there's like an older franchise, there's a new entry, like with the last Ghostbusters movie, not Frozen Empire, the one before that. Where I've seen the movies growing up, but like they were never really ones I rewatched. I wasn't like huge into it. I like the cartoon well enough, but like as far as the movies went, I was never like a huge Ghostbusters guy. But like that re-entry into it through the granddaughter and the family there coming back and digging up all the old stuff and discovering who he was and all this crap. And I was like I was just like, oh my god, is he on? It's just weird.
I'm glad I'm not the latest bald guy to come into the chat, but
good evening.
Do y'all know there was a cartoon, like a Karate Kid cartoon? Do y'all know that?
No,
yeah,
I did not know.
Never
that.
watched it though.
Yeah, so I watched it, and I feel like the show kind of reminds me of how they expand the adventures of Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, and not to the crazy people turn into tigers type stuff, but like seeing the other martial arts communities and things like that.
Wait, did you say people turning into tigers?
Yeah, it got crazy.
Okay, this wasn't like young. So this wasn't like young Indiana Jones or young James Bond.
Sounds like Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah, it's like a prototype Jackie Chan Adventures, and so, but it was them doing other stuff around the world. So I don't know. I think when y'all told me the show was coming back, because I didn't realize what the schedule was, I got really happy because in a weird way, even though they're saying like shit and whatever like that, it's a wholesome show. Like you just feel good to see these kids go through it and excel no matter what side they on. And I don't know. It's just it's a feel good show. I don't see how you can not watch the show and not root for people.
And that's kind of where I stand, because it has that charming like feel good vibe, but at the same time it does have its really serious moments to the point where it's not like just a campy show, like I love to go back to older scenes, like I know it's sick, but the Dimitri and Hawk laser tag scene where the arm gets broken, all those different moments, like they really had some moments that were just insanely intense for a high school karate show. And
just like the
I look at every
season 3 finale where they end up saving him.
His Piccolo intro that he has.
But they do a really good job with different moments like that. And I think I was talking about this with Omni right before you guys joined. The beginning of season 6, we had 2 episodes that were really feel good. The only beef that we had really in episode 1 was with Kenny fighting them at the batting cages, but that got resolved. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a really feel good first 2 episodes before we got to like the meat and potatoes, and I truly enjoyed that change of pace, because it's like these kids weren't trying to murder each other, and I feel like that's a win.
I agree, because the thing is, one of the things I love most about Cobra Kai is that everybody gets their own chance to grow. Everybody gets their own chance to kind of like figure their stuff out, right? Even and like I love that scene with Kenny and his brother at the batting cages, because in addition to that, because they had to fight, but after that, even his older brother has grown since then, and he's like, bro, this ain't the way. Like, whatever's going on, you got to let this go. Like, they were pulling their punches. You need to chill out, because I don't want you to end up like me, right? Everyone has grown so much. I also love just like how far-fetched this show is. Like, out of nowhere, it's just like a karate fight. No matter what, it's over. Like, at any given moment. It's one of my favorite things about this show, because it's so wholesome, it's so far-fetched.
And I felt that too with when Kreese was on the island trying to prove himself to the sensei, which again, I don't know how the hell that dude was still alive. I just want to put that out there.
It's my dark side. From Kill Bill. Like,
my boy was 200 years old, bro. I know.
Like,
but
bro, like, being Cobra Kai does not make you immune to actual cobras. Like, you should be dead. Like, your blood coagulated. Like, you're
me,
done.
obviously, me and Sam were watching it, and immediately
obviously
we
it does. You're not paying attention to the show. Of course,
Sam was like, "Oh, he's gone. He's dead." I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like,
Sam thought he was dead.
He was like, "Oh, he's gone." He's like, "There's no way he makes that."
The show brought him into it. He was like, "Oh my gosh," he feared for him.
To be fair, cobras can regulate how much venom they inject.
So this one decided to be nice to him?
It was a test.
Well, like, my whole thing, like, in my video, like, what I was talking about is like, there's no way in hell this sensei was like left this ancient family heirloom all these years. Like, I bet
snakes there. Why is he going to go into a snake cave?
I bet that morning, that asshole went out to that cave, dropped that knife, came back. He may have even put that snake out there, and then it was like, Grease, here's this story about this knife and all this stuff. Go out there, because I'm clearly too lazy to have ever done that in 800 years.
I'm waiting for everything, man.
Poison.
I'm waiting for everything. Mr. Miyagi's even about that life. Like, we're finding out all kinds of stuff.
We're gonna get a flashback with a young Mr. Miyagi, and I'm so excited about that. If this
he was out there with John Dillinger, I'm here for it.
Like, for a second, I thought,
you know what I truly expected? I honestly, part of me expected Vigilante Miyagi. I thought we were gonna get a flashback to this man.
Like he was the Shadow or Batman out there.
He was out there like Iron
Fist. Bonsai, bro.
Dude, oh my lord!
You might as well make him a superhero. But I think the show. I think the reason why we relate with the show so much is the first Karate Kid movie was about somebody taking an interest in a young person in a healthy way. And when you're growing up, who didn't want a old wise master to come in and help you like navigate life and things like that? And so we got that now, but no matter who you are, you could probably relate to one of the characters on their journey. And somebody taking an interest in you. Even Kreese, we got a backstory of Kreese of somebody taking an interest and believing in you being something great, or even Kreese and Johnny's relationship. So I think that's something that resonates. I think that's a story that's always going to resonate with people if it's done well.
Because there's so much variety in all these different types of characters too. You know, like Daniel, didn't have a father figure or anything like that. He was just with his mother, and then he has this guy come in. But then you have like other characters who have different type of home lives, different type of upbringings, different types of insecurities. Like there's just so many different characters available from so many different walks of life that you can just kind of, well, maybe that's not me, but that is. And it's just so open. I love what they've done with this show, man. Like when I saw the trailer for this for YouTube Red, and I was like, what is this?
I know.
What is this Funny or Die sketch they're trying to milk?
That's what I thought. I didn't even think it was real. I was like,
I didn't either. I thought it was a joke.
It was an SNL skit.
I thought it was just an expansion of when they were on How I Met Your Mother. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what they were telling. Like,
oh my god!
Which is probably one of the best things a sitcom has ever done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason this happened.
I love
and I am very
appreciative. That's how they got the idea.
That show. Oh, 100%.
They definitely probably.
I'm not even kidding when I say I think without How I Met Your Mother, we wouldn't have had Cobra Kai. And that sounds ridiculous, but
right.
I mean, come on.
Because it was just funny when Barney pointed it out, and he's like, "No, I don't want to meet Daniel. I want to meet the Karate
The
Kid,
actual karate.
like Johnny Lawrence." And I was like, "Damn,
Oh my
he
god.
was about that life."
And then they had the whole plot twist where they had the whole bachelor party, and the clown turned out
Yeah.
to be
Like,
Johnny the entire time. Oh my god, that show is phenomenal.
Like
Don't
Johnny
forget.
was about that life. He was like, "I'm gonna wear my karate gi to school. I don't even care." Like it was like hands all day. Like we in it. But yeah, but I also love that like they told the other side of that story, because I mean we remember in 80s movies, the villain was like the most evil person on the planet. Like in the 80s movies, Johnny might as well have been Osama bin Laden. Like that's the way that they made it seem like this is the ultimate bully. He is the ultimate villain. There's no redemption, because that's just how the 80s were, right? It was like if Arnold Schwarzenegger's got to kill somebody, the people he's killing are the most evil people on the planet.
To justify it, of course.
Right. And so I love that times have changed and they're bringing it back around, and they're like, these were kids that were influenced by some very much imperfect adults. And even those adults, when they were younger, were influenced by some more bad shit that happened to them. Like that's real life. And so they're telling real life stories with a hell of a lot of karate in between.
Yeah,
and it's wholesome because it shows you like that people can grow. I love this idea that it's like everybody has their moment, especially, I mean, look at Robbie now versus Robbie when they first introduced him. You would never think that he would have this level of growth and the temperament that he has now, and even him and Miguel being cool with each other. Like, I just love how much they have grown throughout the show.
Yeah.
And in a different era, Robbie would have been the star of this show instead of like all these other characters who get to grow and experience things and things like that. And I think that what you're talking about is humanization of these characters. They're not just bad guys. They're not nameless bad guys. It doesn't matter what happens to them after the match. Right. Kreese didn't just become, Kreese from out of nowhere. I decided to be evil today. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this kind of thing is like, I do this a lot in sessions. Most people don't wake up and say, I'm going to be the bad guy in everybody I interact with life, unless they think that's the safest place to be, is the safest position to have. And I think and seeing these different sides, and they're all fighting their personal battles of like whatever trauma, if it happened to you when you were 10 years old, you're still that 10-year-old inside you somewhere and still stuck in that trauma.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they just do a lovely job of doing that. And even dealing with anger. I think this will be a really good example for to show kids about like dealing with anger and how anger can lash out at other people. And if you don't have anyone else to lash out against, you lash out against yourself. And it can make life harder for yourself.
And you was showing.
No, well, I was literally about to say the moral of Cobra Kai is karate is great, but so is therapy. Like that is that's the overarching theme. Like Chris should not have opened a dojo. The man had PTSD from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be doing karate right now. You need help, my guy. Right? Like,
and they've reformed every villain. They've reformed every villain. So I'm waiting for Kreese's being reformed or getting his come the Miyagi moment that he's gonna have.
It's like, man, Vietnam was rough on me. Let me go take it out on these middle school kids. Like, no, like absolutely not.
So I do want to throw one little thing here into defense of the original movie. Is Johnny wasn't completely bad.
Okay.
The whole idea was even then, like he wasn't like completely villainized the entire way. Like even when it came down to it, he was a bully the entire time, and there was definitely some assault charges that could be brought up.
I mean,
but like by the end of it, when it came down to the tournament, when he was told to win by sweeping the leg, he didn't want to.
Oh, 100%.
Like there was like, you're really asking me to do this? Like when he reacts and then Kreese delves into him harder. So like he comes down to what you were saying though, is like there's no bad students, only bad teachers. Showing the person behind the person what influenced Johnny. Like he didn't want to, but he felt like he had to. So he does it.
And they don't.
And then when he still wins, he congratulates him at the end, like he
does.
and then he brings him the trophy,
and then he gets his ass beat for it, and it just shows the
priest tries to murder him,
and it really shows like the type of like, and I feel like that's the one thing the Karate Kid it's kind of slept on for, because there's no just straight up good and bad guys except for Kreese. Kreese is a dick. But we go back to the whole point with Miyagi. This man isn't just a saint, you know. We see him in the movie actually go through his own shit, and you know, like the dude isn't perfect. And I really appreciated the fact that like it wasn't that he was just some angel sent, you know, like there was some stuff going on with him, and I feel like
he's well lived by the time like Daniel enters his life. So all of his advice is from somewhere, and whether it's not something he's witnessed, it's likely something he lived through. And Daniel's just got this idea of him from that point that he's trying to not taint, when he's kind of holding him up as this ideal versus as instead of like a person.
Right. And that brings us to the scene where he finds out a little more about Miyagi in season 6. We find out that this dude was like some, not even a vigilante, but I don't know, he was just beating the shit out of people. But, yeah, so like learning about that and then seeing how that affected Daniel, I was happy that I wasn't sure if they were just gonna roll over it pretty fast with Daniel, and they were just like, oh, you know, well, he's a human, he had his own stuff, but you know, it just really affected him on a whole other level, where you know he looked at him not as a god, but obviously, but he thought there was something there where they were literally telling each other everything. But, you know, realistically, there's always going to be something that someone has that they're too ashamed to share, specifically with someone that they know, or someone that like even though Miyagi was older than Daniel, he still wanted him to admire him. Like I feel like him telling him that was something
he doesn't want him to think negatively of him in any kind of way.
100%, and I think it kind of shows that he had his own insecurities, which I really enjoy, because even at
what
the
I
end
like
of it
about it is because like at the end of the day, it shows like Daniel's hang up, which has been very consistent all series long, is like he battles so much with forgiving the past of certain people, and he uses Miyagi as this example of like this pristine person. So like at the end of the day, he's like, oh, you're just going back into Cobra Kai. He's like, oh, you're going back into this. And like he's not seeing it when he does it. He's not seeing it when he's doing it. And he's trying to teach these kids the whole idea is to bring them out of and save them from a lot of these same problems. So like it's echoing. Sorry.
Oh, no. I interrupted you. Go ahead. I do that sometimes.
I was just going to say, like, it's showing that what they've been trying to teach is something that even Miyagi went through, and it's something Daniel's having trouble just computing.
Yeah.
So comparison is the death of happiness. I heard recently. I don't know where that's from. Someone told me, and I think that's right. And when you put somebody on a pedestal that you're trying to live up to be this perfect teacher, because Miyagi showed Daniel that he wasn't perfect. He gambled, he drank, he had a love triangle with his best friend's girl. Like, yeah, dark liquor Miyagi was a whole different thing. I mean, he could have robbed a bank, and I'd be okay with it. Them cars came from somewhere.
See, I'm confused about the timeline. My understanding was that what the guy told them was like they found his ID, the passport with the fake name, and it was older than he seemed to have been presented before. And they said that he fled America to Okinawa and then eventually returns. So like,
from whose point of view is that from? Who told us that? Because if it was from Daniel,
it was the guy at the gym, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my man from it was my man from Righteous Gemstones. That was really funny to see out of nowhere.
Before we move on to that, I just wanted to say one thing about the conversation about putting pedestal. They did a really good, whoever wrote that or directed that scene where she was like, we don't tell our kids, because he's like, I know everything about him. I'm the closest person to him. He's my daddy. And she was like, we don't tell our kids everything. Remember Cancun? And Chosen's like, what happened in Cancun? And they're like, you'll never know. And it was a good realization of how we look at our caregivers, right? And we look at these mythic creatures, and it's kind of like, oh crap, you're not perfect. Oh crap, when you were my age, you ain't know what you were doing either. You were just doing the best you could.
Right.
But I think even in the original movies, there was times Miyagi was like, I don't know, I guess try this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and what I love about this too is one of Daniel's biggest flaws is he holds people to a standard that's impossible to meet. Like he constantly like, I don't want you to mess up once. I don't want you to say the wrong thing once. Like he's constantly like looking down on people for their flaws and not recognizing his own. And the reason he did that is because he looked at Mr. Miyagi as Jesus. This is someone that just did no wrong. He was perfect in every way. And now he's getting to this point where it's like, nah, man, it wasn't like that, because you want everybody to do it perfectly like you thought Mr. Miyagi did. But Mr. Miyagi wasn't perfect, and you seem to forget even the lessons that he taught you. And so this is a growing moment for him, because it's, as a teacher, one of my mantras is, the day you stop learning is the day you become a bad teacher. If you're a good teacher, you're constantly learning something new, whether it's about yourself, whether it's about your field, you're constantly learning something new. And I think that's what's happening with Daniel right now. It's like, all right, look, if you're going to be a good teacher, you still have some more stuff that you need to learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he thinks he does. I think he beats himself up a lot. But I think in his mind, he forgets the struggle, right? So I think in his mind, Miyagi said, do this, he did it, and life was better. I think I think he forgets when he blew up at Mr. Miyagi, or like he got frustrated at Mr. Miyagi, or he didn't understand the lesson. So I think that disconnect. And I think that comes with age, right? We remember the positive and the gleaming stuff, and the kind of the cracks kind of fall out of focus. And that's why I think that's where it is. And I think part of that's good. I believe that you can do better. I believe that if I could be a mess up as bad as I was, and I could do better, I know you can. And so I think but I think he goes too far, where he's like, what do you mean? I just gave you the same lesson that helped me. Why isn't it helping you? Just listen. Let me say it again. And I think he's parroting some things without understanding some things of how I mean, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, again, it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting because obviously we have all these different senseis at this point, and to see how they all go about doing things differently. And at the end of the day, they're all learning stuff. I mean, Chosen is a prime example, someone who's just such a badass, but at the end of the day, he is still having his own issues. And as we see with him and Kimiko, we still have some things that, he needs to work on. Johnny, I feel like, has made some serious improvements. At least I thought, until he was trying to get Tori and Sam to fight, and of course that ended up going a different. I mean, the outcome was the same, but the path to get there was not how he wanted it to happen.
Right.
But I don't know. I've been really impressed with what they've done with with the characters in general, because I was really nervous that it was going to be and at times sometimes I can understand if it does feel like this, but a repeat of what we've already gotten, like again with the whole Johnny and Daniel. Oh my god, they're fighting again. But this is a whole different vibe, considering it's now Johnny who like feels as though he's in the right, and he's the one who's kind of like cutting off Daniel. He's like, yo, no, like we've been doing this your way. It's clearly not working. We're done. And have you guys kind of felt as though they're recycling things, or they're kind of doing things the same? Do you guys feel like it's getting overplayed, or do you guys feel like it's kind of cool that they're adding a little twist? I kind of want to hear what you have to say, Draven, because you've just been sitting there in the shadows.
I'm just listening. It's all good. You guys, I'll bump in when I got something to say. I don't have anything to say right now.
But the thing, I do feel like it's a little bit recycled, because the thing is, they wouldn't I feel like Johnny and Daniel went into this with no plan whatsoever, right? They're like, all right, Miyagi-Do, Cobra Kai, two completely different styles of martial arts. Let's just combine and it's going to be great. And it's like, that's not how That's not how that works, right? Like it's like you gotta pick one, you gotta pick one or the other, or you two need to sit down and like actually come up with a plan besides I teach one day, you teach another. Because like the one is like no mercy, and the other is like peace. And I'm like, bro, that ain't it. That ain't it. Like that's like, I don't know. It's just it's really funny because it's like it's one of those things where I feel like nothing is really shocking me. Like you can see it coming a mile away. It's like this isn't gonna work because Daniel's gonna get mad at Johnny because Johnny said this and Johnny thinks this, and then Johnny's gonna be dumb and do this. And like it the kids are growing a whole lot more than the adults are.
Yeah.
But that's also the case. They did the equivalent of putting in the old sitcoms. You put the tape in the middle of the room to one section of the apartment, and that wasn't going to work. And then you got Chosen, who's the Kramer of this triad of teacher, just coming in. But that has, as you grow older, it's a little harder to change, right? It's a little harder to get out your ways. And so the kids being inspiration for them how to work together, I think that was great. I think Tori and Samantha's thing has been great. I love them going and not falling for it. Not also Kenny and Robbie. Like I just think this is a good job of me caring about. I think you're right, caring about these kids. Where another show, all right, I'm just waiting for Daniel and Johnny to get have a fight again or something like that.
It's gotta happen.
I do want to dive into that obviously, but I do want to hear. The one thing that's been in the back of my mind is the and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Omni, are the finalists for the Sekai Taikai. We got kind of a random crew, and I understand that they were gonna kind of throw some people out of left field. But how do you guys feel about this final group?
It's garbage.
I don't like
Why is Eli there? I do not like Eli's fighting ability growth they tried to give him in one season.
There is no lineup that I could put together where Kenny is not in there. Like, and they showed that he got done dirty.
They gave this man so much growth. So much of an accelerated like learning area. I don't even know. They just he trained and learned so much in such a short period of time. Yeah. I thought it was gonna build up to that. And then we dive into it, and bro, they had this man shitting himself.
Bro, if they don't put him on that plane,
he better win. If he gets down to that moment, he better win.
Part 2 is gonna start off.
I just gotta say, you would know if there was that much laxative in that water.
Dude, what you taste?
It would just not taste right.
Leaving.
Yeah.
Like, everybody would have to see me. Everybody would have to see me before they left that bar.
God, that was just so bad. Like,
I heard Anthony talking that nonsense, bro. I'm fighting him, bro. Anthony, I understand, went through some shit with Kenny, but his continuance of being just, oh my God, it made me so happy to see Kenny. It's like, bro, like, what is good with you, dude? Like, this started because you bullied him. Then Kenny bullied you back, and now you're bullying him back again. Like, what are we doing, dude? And it just made me. He's just very unlikable to me. So the idea that they almost put him in that group really messed me up. I was like, bro, nepotism is so crazy.
Yeah,
this man Daniel LaRusso,
Johnny called him out. He's like, what is this? This isn't going to be a LaRusso family vacation.
Yeah, and they were right to call him on that. And Anthony, I didn't even like Anthony in the dojo. I know they wanted to put that in there, but I didn't even want Anthony in the dojo. I do want Hawk to have a little bit of his edge back, though. I want Hawk to have a little bit of edge.
He's kind of a pussy.
It should be.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I expected him to get up and at least get in Dimitri's face. And I understand that's not who he is anymore. So I feel like if anyone,
he wasn't going to do it to anyone. Miguel right now.
I said Dimitri doesn't belong there.
I know, yeah.
Dimitri should have bowed out. Dimitri's like, look, man, this ain't my bad.
He should
Dimitri
not.
was on some different shit, bro.
It should be the big four. I think it should be our top four, and then Kenny and Hawk. That's the squad.
Oh yeah, that's if you were looking at who's the best fighters, that's the undeniable only choice.
Let Hawk go with the laxatives. You put Hawk below Robbie. You pick Hawk below Robbie?
No, Robbie's part of the four.
Robbie's
right?
the big four. So Robbie, Sam, Tori, and Miguel automatic.
Robbie would have won that fight if he didn't hesitate.
And I do believe that if we didn't have if they needed to do like a 3-on-3 type deal, I understand like 3 women, 3 dudes. I can understand them throwing in Devin, instead of someone else. But realistically, it's just like Dimitri being in there is throwing me off.
Garbage.
Since there isn't any rules,
no
Devin being in there
way.
is kind of throwing me off.
Garbage.
He is a terrible person for just accepting that. Like he shouldn't even accept that. Like,
It's like someone being like, name your top 5 NBA players, and
like
someone just says Tyler Hansborough out of nowhere, and it's like,
dude,
get out of here.
I saw somebody do their all-time list and they put Bam Adebayo on that list, bro.
That's what I'm talking.
Dude, it's like
how I felt when they were like,
people just
Dimitri's
don't know
going.
what
I'm
they're
like,
talking
get the hell
about.
out of here.
To see Dimitri there, I can understand it going both ways, though. Dimitri, has been through a lot with their relationship. And for them to have these plans, like, I can understand people having these dreams or having these ideas from when they were little ass kids. So for that to just be taken away like that, I can understand the frustration there. But I mean,
headspace
to
wise,
Hawk's
I totally.
but he know he don't have hands. He know he don't have hands for this tournament. And look, Kenny had a growth spurt over the season. Like,
games, didn't he?
Yeah.
He came back.
I don't know what they were feeding my boy, but
he came back. He came back taller than Robbie.
If you cared about your team, and
you
know you don't bring this, like this just ain't. Dude, if you care about your team, sometimes you gotta.
Bro, you watch the season 4 finale to like the tower difference between Kenny and Robbie, and then watching the season 6 premiere is just bro. And I understand kids grow, like I get it.
Kenny got that heart-shaped herb, dog. He got like
anger, that anger, just like he eating it every day.
Yeah, man.
But it's just like realistically, it's like if Kenny was able to hold his own when he was this much smaller than him, bro, he should be tanking through all these dudes right now. And that's why him not being on the final list. I mean, I truly believe part 2 is gonna start off with them being like, oh my god, Tori, no. And then behind Tori, we're gonna be getting we're gonna see Kenny.
Because we didn't see the full roster.
No, we didn't.
Well, we only saw 4, right?
We only saw 4. We saw.
And you know what? I ain't gonna blame Kenny either. I'm not gonna blame Kenny. You can't go back to that dojo after you.
Me either. And I know Tori is at a spot where
for him too.
I know she's pushing away everyone at Miyagi Do, but realistically, the one who's been manipulating her this whole time, who she truly believes cares, like she doesn't even know if he cares, but at this point, she's just taking that risk. Is this Kreese?
Bro,
so her falling back.
I don't think she cares whether or not he cares.
The Anakin vibes I got.
She's Anakin Skywalker. Like the whole time I was looking, I was like, man,
with the music and everything,
like Palpatine. Like, what if there's another way? Like, I was like,
what were you saying? What were you saying, Omni?
I was just saying, like, I don't think it really matters what Kreese is actually, whether he cares or not. At this point, to her, she just needs to be at that tournament. I think he's just a means to an end for her at this point. Because her whole thing was going out there to prove this idea that her mother had of what they could do, what they could be, and now she's gone. And she wanted that so badly with them, but they took that away. In her mind, took that away. And then Kreese is just handing it to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I believe that she is done with Kreese regardless. But
he still wants her as an acolyte. And,
yeah,
and I agree. Kenny is going to end up a good character, and I think so.
Yeah,
but I'm interested in the Joker from the other school.
Dude.
Yo, he's on demon time. He was
yo. Anybody remember the character's name?
He was a straight up anime villain.
Quan,
I love it.
Dude, I mean, immediately when he popped up on the screen, I didn't think he was going to be like the leader of the group, but I know Sam immediately was like, "Oh, he's going up against Hawk.
Bro, he's gonna hurt. He's gonna hurt someone, bro."
Yeah, he's definitely a problem.
The kid with the mohawk, not the kid with the mohawk, the angry kid with pillar. That's he gives me. Like I wouldn't want to meet that kid nowhere.
Right. As soon as I saw his hair, I was like, "Oh, that's main villain hair."
That's a wrap.
I
think Jacob Bertrand low-key maybe gave away something in one of his interviews.
I kind of want to know what he said.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Oh,
no. You can't tease us like that. What?
But he's talking about some stunts he had to do, and he did a 12-foot fall.
No. Oh no! Why are you spoiling it? Not playing.
Right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
12-foot
Like,
fall.
but like finishing
That's
up
but
with
pretty
a-
hey,
crazy.
to be fair,
He's
for
gonna look like
falls,
Miguel.
that's not all on camera. That's not all in universe.
Maybe we
It's
get a
just how tall he
waterfall
did for
fight?
the stunt.
Maybe we get a waterfall fight and one fall.
Nah, they're not gonna be.
I mean,
in
in
the
a
new movie
tournament,
because
I
they
don't
all
know
have-
how you do a 12-foot fall. So I don't
That's
know.
what I'm
I
saying.
have
You
no
don't know.
idea.
This could be like Street Fighter and these locations on a map.
Nah, yeah.
We don't know. We don't
my
know.
Bro,
God,
they're not
like-
gonna be in the new movie because they all get
So-
wiped out, bro.
So
That's the real
they
thing.
reformed Johnny. They reformed Chosen. They reformed Barnes.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Kreese gets redeemed by the end of this series?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
gotta
want him
hope-
I
to.
think so.
Because the thing
But-
is, they keep doing
don't know.
flashbacks that show. They keep doing flashbacks that kind of show like Kreese does mean well. Like they keep doing these flashbacks that show like
It's gotta be
Yeah,
him dying
he's-
for Johnny, bro.
right. It's gonna be I think it's something like that. Like I think he is redeemable because and the reason I say that is because they already introduced someone that was worse than him in the last season, right? And then you saw his backstory from Vietnam and all that, and I do think there is something about him because even when they talk about like how he does actually care about Johnny,
And that was his weakness.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they say it's a
They
weakness,
mention it.
but I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna show like it's not a weakness to care about somebody, and so I
Mhm.
think he has a story just like everyone else does. And honestly, there is a part of me that does think he actually does care about Tori as well.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And I think he,
Yeah.
I think he
Same way
sees her
cares about
potential.
Johnny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Johnny rejected him, so now you go to granddaughter, right? So your kid rejected you. Now you're gonna go to the grandkids and be the grandfather. And even showed he risked his freedom to come and talk to her. Like he's consistently put himself out there for her. And when you don't have anybody, that's seductive in a way, you know.
Yeah.
So does
I'm
he
laughing at Trent's comment in the chat. How's this wanted fugitive traveling all over the world? It's true. Like
Karate.
I feel
That's
like
what I was about to
someone-
say.
Yeah, I feel like they don't really talk about it, but like somebody just has unlimited income that no one talks about. Like they never talk
Everybody
about
but Tori.
money. Yeah, they never really talk about money, but I'm like, how much money are y'all making from this?
I mean,
karate
how's he getting
dojo?
past TSA?
Like, right?
How's he getting
Like, you
through
ain't
like
selling that
security
many cars.
anywhere?
Like somebody dealing drugs.
In
But
this
like,
reality,
I felt like a good point was like in his military, maybe he made some connections, some private planes, some whatever. Who knows? Like it's things that maybe could be told.
He's
But
working
like, I
for
would at least like a
Blackwater.
line. But in my head, he just walks into a shadow and just appears out of another shadow somewhere.
Like this man faked his death and escaped from prison, and he's out
Twice!
here,
He's faked his death twice.
right? And he's out here on the grand stage of the biggest karate tournament in the world. And he's
This
just
is the
standing up
karate
there
world.
like,
Oh yeah,
on some
I didn't even
M.
think
Bison- on
about
some
that.
M.
He's
Bison
literally
shit.
on TV.
Yeah. At first, I'm like, okay, maybe like there is immunity because he's in a whole different country. But the fact that it's televised is
Yeah.
really throwing me off.
Spain is not a non-extradition country.
right? I've been to Barcelona. Like, so, but I think in this world, like Metalopocalypse, metal is the biggest music in the world. In this world, karate is the biggest thing ever. Like you were an international star. If you are still like the 80s never left. It's still there. And so maybe that's what gets him in and out. Or he just, he goes through customs and he just karate chops people until he gets out the airport and it fakes his death again and it comes in the country and it fakes out his death.
And you're right. Like karate is still like so big there. Like I laughed so hard when Johnny was like, man, I don't have good credit. And the guy's like, hey, I remember you doing karate 30 years ago. You know what? Don't sweat the credit.
In
This housing market, that's bullshit. Like
I love how much hate that carried, bro. It really reminds me of that Family Guy skit where they're like, what if Cobra Kai? Or no, it's like, what if Karate Kid was based in real life? And it's like the jocks go up to Johnny and Daniel, kind of beefing over karate, and they're just like, "You guys do karate? Like you both are geeks." It's like how real, like it just realistically. I'm just trying to think from a point of view where like these tournaments are so memorable for some of these kids where this dude is willing to give this dude a whole house based
Yeah.
off
And MMA don't exist
40 years ago.
but it's karate.
Right. Like I'm looking at some of these kids, like one of the like what's his name? The really big kid with
Brooks?
Miyagi Do. And I'm like,
Penis
no, no.
breath.
and I'm like, man,
It's muscles,
need-
bro.
yeah, and I'm sitting there looking at him like, man, I know you're doing karate, but somebody needs to put you on an offensive line. Like you need to, we need to see what else you got. Like if you moving this fast doing karate, like I think this can transfer to greatness. Like
You're gonna get scholarship, my man.
right, like
But
you might
I
get in
think
that
Leave the
blind
valley,
side.
go to Texas, you be fine.
Some of the comedic moments that we've gotten in this show have been fantastic. With Penis Breath coming back into the group, I honestly I was disgusted by it at first. I was like, ah, boo, he's a traitor. But with them including Mike Barnes and Mike Barnes calling him Muscles was probably the funniest thing to me. Because he's like, hey, don't call me Penis Breath no more.
Just like if Kenny betrays you call me penis breath every day for a year. Don't expect my loyalty.
No.
Damn,
Sorry. Sometimes you earn betrayal. Sometimes you earn betrayal.
Right.
Yeah.
for sure.
Right. Like you're not gonna be my friend and call me that every day. Like, nah. Like I like you ain't
Your face.
like you got my name saved in your phone, is that? Like really? Like, yeah, no.
No.
We're not.
Do you guys think Silver is gonna come back at some point?
Oh yeah.
That's the final part right there.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
gonna be the
think
one to
we
kill Kreese.
I think we
He's
see
definitely coming
Kreese visit him in jail when he gets his redemption moment. I think because I think Kreese still is responsible for Silver too, even with all the betrayal stuff. I could be wrong. I just envision
I mean,
that's part of
I was
Kreese's-
thinking,
I don't
like,
think-
how can we redeem Terry at this point? And I think you might have found it, man. Like, cause like if Kreese, goes through this thing where he's Davy Jones his heart out, and metaphorically, and then I mean, hell, I don't know. Maybe he did cut it out with that knife for all we know, left it in that cave. Karate just
Karate,
powers you
bro.
through everything in this world.
Yeah, because Terry Silver had retired. He was minding his own business, sitting at home bored and drinking wine, and then Kreese came and woke up that devil in him. Like,
Yeah.
like
got him back out here in
Let's
these
go.
streets. Right.
He opened up his he took off painting off the wall, opened a safe, brought out a whole fresh line, and just started going at it.
Right. He's like, just when I thought I was gone, they pulled me right back in. Like,
And
little
he-
darkness,
and-
my old friend.
And Kreese is his weakness. So if Kreese has this redemption stride, he has that moment and he goes back and he takes ownership of what happened, and maybe that can be the gateway back for Terry after the end of it, since I mean it's his fault he's back in this anyway.
right. And
But
I
I'm just
do-
wondering if we're gonna give everybody one.
Kreese redeems himself, goes to visit Terry in jail. Terry fakes his death. They end up on an island somewhere. Like they just go through that.
Right.
That's like, I can help you get out of here.
Right. And I'm really interested in seeing where these plot lines go, because a lot of these kids, they're in it. They're like, I have to win this tournament. Dimitri's over there, and I'm like, bro, if you land the wrong way,
Yeah.
MIT might not work out for you. Like you might like if you gotta fight homeboy that's on Kreese's team, like you might not make it to MIT. I'm gonna be real
You do
with
not
you. Like,
belong. That is a danger to your safety. Then
Right.
it is unfair
Yeah.
for anybody for you to be here when that could have been a slot for somebody.
Because everyone here right now, this isn't a sport for them anymore. Like they're doing this because they want something, they need to prove something.
I mean,
But
still,
that's where
realistic
my
loans
hang up
exist
here. How
for
do you-
Miguel, but he thinks
Like,
this
how-
is it.
How do you all feel about everybody's motivations for the tournament right now?
I
'Cause
think the
I'm a
motivations.
I feel like some of our kids have the wrong thing in their heart for why they're fighting right now.
Yeah,
Hawk
and
wants to
I
be
think
a fighter. I think Hawk wants. I'm sorry.
I think it all comes down to like just kind of where they are right now. And again, I understand all of their point of views, but realistically, it's kind of sad. Like from Robbie's point of view, it kind of looks like he just fully gave up on college. He's like, this is all I have. It's like, bro, what is this gonna do? like I know you're gonna be the face of karate. I get like it might do that for you, but I mean, I feel bad that he's putting all of his eggs in one basket. Just expecting or hoping that this works out, and at the same time, him doing that is putting him in a mindset where there's no longer teams, you know, like Miguel doing this because, you know, it looks good on a resume or whatever the fuck it is. It's just like they're gonna beef. It's gonna bring us back to the point that we've already seen, and that's what I'm kind of worried about.
Sam, Devin, Dimitri, how even well, they're the only. Well, no, Tori, Sam, Devin, and Dimitri are the only ones right now that are competing because they want to see how far they can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they're the only ones that are actually trying to prove anything.
Dimitri was trying to look good for his girl, though. I don't think he's trying to. I think he knows where he can go.
It's also.
I mean, that's the thing about that conversation, though, is he was projecting limits onto himself. So does he really know how far he can go if he's not holding himself back?
And they're
If
definitely
Dimitri
building
won this, it'd be like Bran Stark being king. Sorry.
Like, I think that's his projection. Whether or not I believe it, I think that's what they're trying to do with that.
Yeah, see, Night King should have killed his ass. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
But like, I do love they're setting up this plot line. It's like, this is all I have, and I'm like, yeah, and that's completely your fault. Like, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, 2.1 GPA. Good at karate. Yeah, you're not going to get in college. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like
prison record, like
right.
Like,
no,
if you were black,
of my own actions, right?
Like the one part that rubbed me the wrong way was that conversation between Miguel and Robbie when Miguel was the one that was like, "I need this." Like,
I know.
to Robbie, and I was like, "No, you don't." One, like we had a whole episode literally about that, where it was like, it's okay if you don't, shoot your shot because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Shoot your shot, aim for your dream school. If you don't go to your dream school, for Miguel with his grades, his literally everything, the worst case scenario is just a lesser school.
Right.
Yeah. And for them, like, it just feels like he's just like, it was like Robbie said. It was like, so you think because I'm not going to college, I should let you win? What? I don't know. Like, it just that rubbed me the wrong way.
I think they had to force a reason for everybody to care. And like, I think that's what it was more than anything. It's like, okay, everybody, we need to give everybody some kind of motive or agenda. Because honestly, looking at this, the only person I feel like really does need this win right now is Tori. Like, girls in the trenches, like, she needs a win.
100%.
The girl needs a win. But I understand that they got to set up plot lines for everybody. And it's like, man, I got to win this world stage martial arts tournament if I can ever hope to go to community college. And I'm like, that's not how. And I'm like,
there's always MIT. There's always MIT.
I'm like, that's not really how that works. But go off, King, I guess.
Could there be like, do they do like a boy versus a girl fight? Like, could they do that? Is that a thing?
Hey, what do you have in mind?
It's like, okay, well, I don't know, like Tori versus Robbie or some shit like that. Like, could that happen?
I think they're setting it up. As Tori having to go against Sam just because they don't have enough characters in the show. Because did Crease's side, did they have any girls on their team besides Tori?
Nah, they showed the top 3 dudes. Then they showed Tori. And I truly believe that Kenny's about to come out the cut.
Quan, the previous.
Oh man, I didn't think about Kenny changing teams. Oh no.
What's Sam's motivation? Does she have a motivation to be in this fight?
She said she just wants to settle this for herself. I mean, actually, her ambitions technically ended at the fight between her and Tori, because she just she told Daniel, she's like, I just want to know so I can have closure. Like, an untainted, whatever.
Both Russos could have stayed home for me.
Nah, Sam got that
Sam's gotta go.
No.
Sam deserves to be on it. Sam does deserve to be on the team.
Skill-wise, she deserves it.
She won that fight.
She don't need it. She don't need it. She's not really motivated. Huh?
Yeah. The team needs it.
The team needs, so she's a pick, just like Dimitri should just step out. Sam, even she doesn't want to go, is like, well, I'm like the best skilled person here. Let me, you got to. But I mean,
like, I got hands, might as well use them.
Right.
It's a little off
I have a
topic.
bright future and hands.
Where can I go wrong? My parents are rich. It's gonna be great. Like,
have you seen our house?
right. All these
I've been
cars my
seeing
dad owns.
a lot of people talking about like crapping on Sam this season. Like I go on TikTok and I'm fucking
What's
scrolling,
new?
and it's like
No,
I
no,
go
what's
through photos
new?
and like Ham LaRusso, all the comments or some shit
no.
like that. I'm
Wait,
like,
what
bro,
happens with her?
Yeah.
Nah,
like
that's
everyone's
like
calling
her?
her like Ham LaRusso, like she's like gotten bigger since season 1. It's like, bro,
Internet
Come on,
is
bro.
Yeah,
trash.
if it's not her
And people
character,
that
people
say
are going to
that
go after her
are
appearance
garbage ass
now.
human beings, and I hope they
Yes.
never get anywhere in life.
Bro,
I'll
she
be
hasn't
honest.
even
Yeah.
been this bad, bro.
Yeah,
And
no,
that
she's
doesn't
been
even
pretty good.
justify that. But still, she hasn't been as kind of like she that
People are
nah, I
just
don't know. That's
assholes,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
I literally
if you
was like
took the
scrolling.
time
I'm
to
like,
go online and talk about this girl's, I don't even know what it was, because she's bigger than.
Ham LaRusso?
I'm
something
disappointed,
like
but
that.
not
Like,
surprised
Yeah.
because people
yeah,
are
no,
garbage.
it's the internet.
And
Yeah.
so, well, yeah, you got to remember there's people out there that like watch the show and don't learn any lessons from it. Clearly,
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Same with watching
Well,
Star Trek or Star Wars.
Right.
You just missed the whole
right?
thing.
It's like, bro,
Wow.
it soared over your head. Like you just completely missed the point. And so, yeah, it doesn't shock me. It pisses me off, but it doesn't
Yeah.
shock me.
Wait, and we're sure this is an insult, right? We're sure this is an insult.
No,
like,
it's definitely an insult. Like there's
like,
even
are they
like
saying,
there's
like,
a lot of
girl got
comments.
ham. Like, are they like ham? I would
No,
turn
no,
around.
not like that.
No, okay.
That's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
see,
mean,
I look up on TikTok Ham LaRusso and it just memes
Nah.
Cobra Kai, Nike Pros or something like that. I don't know what the fuck
What?
that means.
TikTok's
I don't
a weird-
know.
TikTok's a weird place.
It's like
man.
she was a lot more mature this season. That's a good one, I guess.
What I said about Sam is because she
Yeah.
didn't have motive. Her storyline seems to be kind of done. That's all I was trying to say. Is that she's met her goals that she started out with, which is no problem. That happens in stories. She's still a great character. There's no way she shouldn't be in the, like you said, the big four. Like,
Right.
like she can beat everybody else below them.
Right.
Easily.
She should be there. Like
Yeah.
if you're picking your
How do
best
you all
scene,
feel about
She's not
what,
Dimitri.
what Devin did?
Oh,
Oh my
scum.
god, no. That
Scummy,
made
bro.
me immediately dislike her.
I
Immediately
was
not like her as a
pissed.
character. Come
yeah,
on,
I
bro.
was pissed when she pulled that.
I
When she
see
pulled that with Kenny, I was like, that's messed up.
Ham was
Hey-
kind of calm. That's crazy, bro.
That's messed up. Like I hated that she did that. Like I understand that
Yeah,
like
no.
anything to win, but at the same time,
Nah.
it was just funny
Scummy, bro.
because I'm not gonna lie. Until she did that, I had kind of forgotten about her character. I was like, "Oh yeah, she is there."
Yeah,
Like,
I,
And that's another thing the show's been doing really good for. Because I mean, now that we're all on the same time, my entire thing was like, how are we gonna make all these characters relevant? How are we gonna keep them in the picture? We're definitely gonna sideline characters like Devin, but no, they've made it work. They've given everybody a little bit of action.
Even like
and
the two small kids they kind of add in there too.
my
What's
boy
his name?
Bert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
I-
homie Bert.
Bert didn't
I-
make it, but Nate did.
I hated the way. So I'm not gonna lie. One of the things I did not like was how they chose the rest of their team, because I'm like, okay, a foot race into the woods to come back with a flag to decide. I'm like, no, just have them fight. Like that's it. Like that should have been like it's a
children.
karate tournament. It's not like it's not a foot race. It's not an obstacle course. It's a karate tournament. That's what you should be grading them on, and that's it. Whoever wins goes. And so I felt like it was super far-fetched, especially when it was like no rules, and it's like, but there should be rules, right? Like somebody could legit get hurt, which is what happened with Kenny. Like that was bad. That was really bad. And it's like, okay, but like y'all need to look into this because that was dirty. Like that was dirty what happened, and it wasn't fair. And this is when the adults should be stepping in and being like, there needs to be a better way. Clearly, this isn't the best way to decide it. Like someone spiked my man's water. Like,
See, at first,
he pooped
like,
himself
what
so
I
he
thought
doesn't
was-
get to go to Spain. Like, dude's got hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And people, athletes have bad days when stuff
Right.
just don't work right in your
Right.
system. So I just looked up. Is she 28 years old? The actress that plays Sam LaRusso?
Damn. I guess so.
So are they complaining about that she got a grown woman's body? Is that what's going on? I
Is
have a
she
hard
really
time.
28 years old? That's wild.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. It's that euphoria shit, you know? They got like
yeah,
Um,
fair.
Is Mary Mauser or something?
Yeah,
Mary
Mary-
Mauser.
Let me
Born
see.
1996.
She is 28, but that's crazy. Wow.
Look, people. Everybody
So-
got different body shapes, and I guarantee it's like Sir Mix-a-Lot has to come back and explain to y'all that like everybody don't want the same thing. It's gonna be all right. It's okay.
It don't.
Quan
gotta be.
versus Bert.
God, this would
Bert's
actually
fucking dying,
be-
bro.
Yeah, he'd kill him. He'd
One
actually
kick,
kill him.
he's fucking hard. Like
You know
right in the
that
heart.
board he broke? That's Bert.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd be
But,
really bad.
At
So
first,
do
I
we
thought
want, do we
when
want the stakes to be upped in violence? Like, Karate Kid 2, like it got real. Like this wasn't bully
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Like
Well,
Chosen
they
was going to
they
kill
kind
him.
Chosen
of
ones
set
that
that
wanted
up.
to
They
the
said
death.
people have died here. At
Yeah,
one
and
point.
we
Miyagi,
saw-
Miyagi had the blood on the.
Yeah, they
fucking-
teased
Oh,
that
yeah.
with
Which is-
Miyagi and his past. Like we saw the Sekai Taikai headband, and
Covered in
it
blood.
had like blood on it.
Which
So
is
it's like-
weird
one
because
uptick in
this
the
is
violence.
Miyagi
still,
killed somebody.
Or danger.
right. It's like a
It's a
kumite
kumite.
for kids, right? Like I'm like, this is weird. Like people have died here. Like, but why? Like this is
So this should
Spine
have been
ripped.
the movie in like 3 years. Like this
Right.
should have
Like,
been
this should-
the
like,
movie.
there's no
When they're in
reason
college.
anyone should die at this children's karate tournament. Like it's like, what the hell? Like, are you kidding
Listen,
me?
If Miguel goes,
Dude, no, this can't.
Miguel's
happen.
not
That's
gonna die,
happen.
bro.
But-
They,
but
they,
I kinda
they
think-
take his spine.
So
But
Yeah,
But
they
his
already
story's
broke
kinda
this
complete
man's
too,
spine,
right?
bro. They wouldn't do that.
He met his drug lord dad. He got his family with new
I'm
brothers.
waiting for him to come
Bro,
back.
I
I'm
kind of
waiting
want
for
to
the
see him come
cartel
back. They
thing.
kind of like just went around that. Like
Dude.
that was like a quick thing.
do we
Like
think
I
Miguel's
really
gonna,
hope it leads to something.
do we think Miguel's gonna win it all or someone else?
I don't think. I think
Finish him.
I don't think. I'm trying to think what happens.
I mean, it
because
started
here's
with him. Like,
the
I really
thing
don't
that's
know.
interesting. What's interesting to me is where they're going to go because this is part 1 of 3, right? Like, there's going to be 15 episodes
Yeah.
for this full
Oh, wait,
season,
what?
right? And so this is just
Yeah.
part 1. I'm guessing. Yeah, it's going to be 3 parts, and
Ants
so
lost,
I'm
bro.
guessing
I,
part
I was
2
mad the first part.
Part 2 is going to be the tournament. Part 2 is going to be the tournament. I'm like, I don't know what part 3 is going to be. Like,
I feel like part 2 is not the tournament. Like, I feel like right, like they might
It
have
has to be then.
time skip. or
It
something.
it has
to
been.
be,
They
bro.
showed
be.
the squad up there though. Like,
Yeah, but
were
they could just
insane.
show it and then like next part we'll just we gotta see.
Yeah, they
like,
could go.
We gotta
6 months
see
prior
Tori
and
come
then show
back.
right
Like
after.
we gotta.
Yeah.
Part 3 could just be the wrap up, the epilogue.
We
of
could,
everybody's
I mean,
storylines
honestly, I wouldn't be
getting-
surprised if the first like 2 episodes are primarily like wrapping up like a little flashbacks, and then the first 3 and then the last 3 episodes are like the beginning of the Sekai Taikai, leading to like part 3. Because I feel like they could go with the whole Tori, trying to figure out what she's doing, and then to the point where Kreese finds her, and they could do that in 1 episode. Same thing with the whole Kenny thing, how Kenny ends up figuring out that he wants to go to Kreese, and if they end up going that route, of course.
I
They
want
should
to see
do
how much
movies
they
and no
jump the shark.
episodes. This is. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I want to see how much they jump the shark. At what point do we find out Mr. Miyagi has a clone that's in this tournament? Like, I want to see how far they take it because they don't mind getting outrageous. They absolutely don't. And I do love the stakes that they have set up with all of these grown-ups watching children do karate. And so
Battle to the death.
right, like people have like when he said people have died here, I legit paused. I paused it and I laughed my ass off. I'm like, but why? Like, there's no reason they should. Right?
It's not the
Like,
Olympics. This ain't.
Right. Like, these are still children. Like, it's not one of those things. Like, I could see like the Kumite and it's or Enter the Dragon. It's
I
like,
don't
okay,
remember
yes,
this.
Maybe they got
No.
like
guy or like a
Who was
Mortal
the-
Kombat tournament.
Who's the Cobra Kai girl? She was Sam's friend, but she joined Cobra Kai.
What's
She like
up?
jumped on boy with
Good.
like during her. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
Black
I forget her
girl.
name.
She was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she left after like her family just moved away.
Oh, Taisha.
yeah.
Taisha.
Yeah, Aisha, my fault.
She should be the third girl. She should be the third girl on the Cobra Kai side.
Do you think they get Hillary Swank to come back at any point?
I
Yeah.
hope so.
I
Wish
think
she
that,
could-
I think
would
they're
love
gonna
to
pull it
see
off.
her.
I mean, she's
And
mentioned it in a
Jaden.
few interviews, but she hasn't gave a definite answer. But she ended up. I saw an interview where she was like, "Oh, the only question I get more than how did it feel working with Clint Eastwood was am I going to be in Cobra Kai?" And then she just started laughing, and then she never
Well,
gave us that answer.
I need
But
to
she
see.
knows.
I
She
need
knows
to see
about it.
her come
And
back.
the reporter
run a
just looks
fight.
at her like, answer the question. He laughing like,
I
answer
need
the
her.
question.
Yeah, I need her to come out, go ham, and win a fight because I'm still depressed from Million Dollar Baby. Like I need her
Or
to come out
or
with hands.
we see Mr. Miyagi's picture on the Kumatai wall, and we see her picture. Like, oh, okay, she did something with some girl.
Okay.
She went to the death tournament after that. After
There
that
you
movie,
go.
okay.
Right?
And there's
Right,
Jaden
because
Smith.
the thing is, what I'm also waiting on too is they're making it seem like this world level martial arts tournament only has 2 teams, right? I'm like, surely
Silver.
there's some
Silver.
others, right? I'm wondering if Silver's gonna show up
Jaden
with
Smith
his
comes out of
own,
nowhere with that
his
other,
own even
that-
more
his enemy
evil
with his
squad.
enemy.
I
in
saw
that movie.
somebody
This is
be like-
karate, Mr. We don't do kung fu here. Oh, my bad. I always forget that mixed up. He just
Right.
leave. He just leave.
Right. I'm waiting
Jackie
for-
Chan comes out of nowhere, bro. Just
Right,
to
I'm
get
waiting
up
for
there,
M.
like-
Bison
I
to
do
show
wanna
up
say-
with Shadow Law.
I do want to say shout out to Cody Leach real quick. He does some Cobra Kai content on his channel.
Yo, what's going on,
so
man?
quick shout out over there. But yeah, back to what you guys are saying.
I don't know
What was I saying?
I really threw it off. My
don't know.
fault.
Oh, I was just saying Jackie Chan comes out of nowhere. Silver's in there.
Oh, okay. I saw
Oh yeah,
some people
Jaden Smith. You think
speculating,
he's gonna
like,
come back too?
because we're still getting young Silver in some of these flashbacks. It was like, what if Quan is his bastard child?
Oh my god.
Right. I'm like, yeah, there's no like I want to see
Some of these
just how
theories
For all the
this
soap
rabbit
opera
hole
madness.
goes. I'm
All
here
that soap
for
opera
it.
madness just
I'm
throw it
here
in
for
here
it.
and add
In
the
a
karate.
world full of karate with no guns. Let's see what happens.
This show is
It's
so
gonna-
fucking
yeah,
good.
None of
It's
the
an
criminal
Into the
elements.
Badlands prequel. That's what this is all leading up to.
And it's just like a karate movie. You could have karate fights, and only sometimes you get assault charges. Like you have a fight on campus with alcohol underage minors where people get
Right.
put through tables.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you imagine being a part of a little league team just going to practice and it's just people in the batting cages fighting each other? Like, I guess I'll just wait.
They got 6 more minutes on their time.
Guess I'll just wait because I was gonna just practice my swing at Sonic, but they got to fight. So I think that guy just punched a softball. Whatever. Guess I'll go home. Like
I still love the show. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
only been going up.
absolutely
yeah,
love it.
I'm
No, I
enjoying
love
it. I think I'd have to see how part 2 plays out to see how they kind of
It's
continue
fun.
what they gave us in part 1. But so far, I'm still entertained. I'm still loving it.
Like the
I
only
don't have too
moment
many bad
this
things.
part that I was just like was the Johnny being like, after this we're done again. And I was
I
like,
know,
"Oh,
same
God
shit.
damn it.
Different
No,
font.
that.
Yeah.
Him jumping on the counter and saying, "Who wants to join me? Who wants to join me in my? Hey, you want to come to my Amistad dealership type of thing?"
And Louis
I
was
thought
like,
it was
"What?
charming.
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about? What kind of benefits you got?"
Look. Even if for some reason they do not stick the landing, they've given us so much entertainment over the seasons of this show that I'm still going to say this is a good show. I don't think it's
Absolutely.
like even if they mess it up the last season part 2 or whatever of this this is like some Attack on Titan type stuff, but like but like I'm here for it, and I would come back for a movie if they did a
I don't think they-
Netflix movie. I would come back for it. You know, I'm good.
Maybe
I'll be there
maybe
for that
the
other
third
one.
part.
Is
Maybe
this-
the
is this
third
the kind
part
of
is a
shock
flash
value we
forward.
want to see? Is this the kind of shock value we want? Kenny kills
yeah,
with
he
the stuff?
suffocates him.
I mean,
Jesus,
I'm
bro.
here.
No,
I'm here
like
for
I
it
wanted to
at this
kind of come
point.
back to this a little bit. You know, as much as I was like, Kenny should be on the team, the part of me that like was mildly okay with it was that it being on the team and just going out there in my head too was just kind of exacerbating his existing issues because it's just keeping the fight going. And I think he needs to reflect a little bit. So like not being on the team might force him to confront, assuming he doesn't just show up on Kreese's team in the next episode. Maybe he's got to be like, okay, and come down a little bit. So
Cody?
and check his ego.
Cody, sometimes you got friends you just argue with. One of my best friends is Lucas, and we will argue for days on end and still drink together and, and talk about
It's
that. It just
great
happens.
entertainment to listen to. I love hearing
Yeah.
y'all fight.
It's just the dynamic of some friendships. And LaRusso and Johnny are two different people who are just friends now, and that's going to be the begrudging thing that happens. So, I mean, I'm not over it as long as they make the fights entertaining. You know what I mean? As long as they make it, there's some snappy comebacks or anything like that. I mean, every season they gave us something new, especially when Ali came back. And it's kind of like, it was almost like for y'all Buffyverse fans, it's almost like a Spike and Angel type of thing over Buffy. I'm all for it. All their fights have been entertaining for me.
Dude, that college fight scene was sick though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yo,
frat house, bro.
And people get healthy growth. They get healthy growth through this season. Even the season with the community college fight with the who's the bigger guy that Hawk wailed on.
Brooks.
He's like, talk about
Brooks, yeah.
Brooks.
Oh, Brooks. And he was like, "Hey, man, it's cool. I needed a tune-up. I needed my attitude adjustment so I can live a better life. It's fine."
Yeah, and I just the frat party scene was pretty funny because once you hit the college level, assault charges are coming out. Like those are rich kids with rich parents. Like that's gonna come back around.
We don't want to
some
get the
way.
police around. God knows what was actually happening there, though.
Right.
It is a
There's a lot
college
of underage
frat
drinking
party.
in the show, though. There's a lot of underage drinking.
It's a lot of
I don't know.
I mean,
never addressed it.
They're
They
not
never
hiding
addressed
what
it.
actually happens.
Yeah.
At least.
And no one's ever hung over the next day at lessons.
Oh my God, you're right.
I need some more Stingray, bro.
I think you just
they
stole
kind of
it.
sprinkled them in there. I kind of like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
he's
have
cool.
that's a good point with Sting because this is another thing that I'm waiting on. The show is called Cobra Kai, and I'm waiting for that to swing back around to it being like, okay, Cobra Kai is back being the main character, the main dojo in the show, because it shifted kind of where it's like Cobra Kai is dead. They've introduced, what is it, Eagle Fang and like Miyagi
didn't they have like
Fang
the
and all of
new
that.
G's, like the new characters, Quan have like a red Cobra Kai or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
Yeah, and I'm waiting for it to be one of those things. Like, do you remember in D2 The Mighty Ducks where at halftime they changed uniforms and came back out there? Like, I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that. Like, at some point they're going to be like, all right, we need to have no mercy. And then they get their new gis back and it's like, and now we're Cobra Kai again. Like, because it's the name of the show, right? And so I'm waiting for it to make its grand return as far as being Johnny's Cobra Kai.
I think they pretty much buried that idea.
I don't think so. I think Kreese takes leadership of this clan, or this he gets redeemed. Johnny and him come to an understanding. Johnny and Daniel's like, hey, we're just never gonna work out us sharing a dojo or a school. But that doesn't mean we also become two rival gangs. and then that's the redemption of Cobra, because that's that way we kind of saw the redemption of Cobra Kai throughout this series, and this is just a slide back.
Yeah.
No, am I the person?
I don't know.
No, I agree.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I think it's we're gonna kill Cobra Kai by the end of it.
I think so
like,
as well.
Kill it.
that would be a really. I mean, I could be wrong, but that seems like a really weird place to go with the story.
Hey guys, if we could try to avoid spoilers in the comments. I know you're going off of like rumors and stuff, but I've already had to delete like 2 of them, so let's.
I mean, they just said it's a huge fight in episode
I
9.
know,
It's a
but
huge fight in
I'm only
everyone.
I'm only saying it because like someone said something else, like saying, "Oh yeah, I saw a leak where this happened," and I'm like, okay, so I deleted it.
For stuff that's not out yet.
Yeah, I just want to play it safe. That's not crazy, but still, like, I just want to make sure that we're playing it safe.
Yeah, but yeah,
The homie.
I'm definitely interested in seeing where it goes.
Because I think the redemption will be pulling everybody away
You can
from
hear the
Cobra
wind.
Kai, even Kreese.
How you doing, bro?
What up, y'all?
There he is.
What's going
What's
on?
up, man?
What's good, everybody?
We're talking about how Kenny crapped himself. You want to pitch in?
Oh man, they did my man Kenny dirty, bro.
They did.
Like, first of all,
They did.
Kenny
It's unanimous.
had a whole growth spurt. He's taller than everybody on the show.
If he shows up with a Cobra Kai gi, I understand. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at him. I can call him traitor.
I get it.
Like,
At least the poop won't like leak through
Yeah.
that. Like you can't really notice it in the black.
He didn't even
Hey,
make it to
nah,
the
bro.
bathroom. They didn't even make
They
it to the
keep
bathroom.
giving him villain
He
origin.
didn't make it to the bathroom. That was so sad. Oh, I felt so bad for him. I wanted to give him a hug, like after he cleans up, but I wanted to give him
Oh,
a hug.
Wonderful.
And there was no place to clean up in that porta potty. So that means he
I
had to go
know.
home.
He got
Until-
dirty and then went to a dirtier spot.
Until it
Trying to
was
tie his
revealed-
jacket around his waist. They ain't helping, bro. They ain't helping.
I hated it for him because
Hey, what's up about me?
I was gonna say, did anybody like because the way that was set up, maybe I missed a scene somewhere in there.
Like,
But
any sense,
did-
because the beginning of the season, especially coming off of his relationship with Silver, his relation to Cobra Kai, like his ties that were broken because of Robbie,
Is bro
it
lagging?
just really didn't make
I
any
think
sense
he's
because he had already went through this huge hurdle just for him to take like 4 steps back. That
For
didn't
sure.
make any sense to me.
What were you saying, Omni?
So like Devin, did she even know about Muscles and his laxative? Because I could have sworn Anthony was the only person in that scene when
Well,
that
clearly
reveal
she
was
did.
given.
I mean, I don't remember her. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if she found out
Because
about
like
it.
what
but
I thought happened, or what I thought was going to happen before the Devin reveal, was because maybe it happened off camera or whatever. But like I could totally see it with how he's been acting and stuff. Like if Kenny had just done his Cobra Kai thing that's still kind of in his system and like swiped Mitch's bottle and was like ha ha ha, ha, and
Yeah.
Anthony knew but didn't say
and didn't say
anything.
anything. Yeah.
I thought that was what we were going to learn. And he was like, haha, watch this. Or he was going to like, he knew what was going to come out of that. But then it ended up being Devin. And I was like, oh, wait. So what was that other scene? I was just like, I was a little confused about all that.
It was to let us know. It was to let us know about the laxatives.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And then
It's just like, I wanted to like, did she
It's
know?
gotta
Or
be Devin.
does that just mean that she went and bought her own laxatives and then spiked his stuff?
Right.
I
That was
wonder
a
if
big
they did-
bottle of laxatives too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what is
Muscle's a big
happening?
man, bro. You need some.
I wonder if they didn't have enough time to build up another whole team, because the majority of this show we've known all the characters, even with the portrayals, with who was fighting who, right? So
Mhm.
even the background characters of the school, we've kind of known who they are. But then they got to build up a whole other team for this other rival school. They got to build up the other schools. I'm imagining this is not just gonna be 2 schools there, and so maybe they need to just say, hey, Tori, Kenny, we can port them over here. It also doesn't look like it's all these American. This is also not the 80s where you could have an all American team versus all Russians or all Chinese or anything like that. Like you gotta. So maybe that's what they're doing.
So, are they gonna tie in Daniel's movie that he's gonna be in? Like, is that not a thing?
Yeah, I think they said that they're gonna kind of like keep away from whatever is happening here, which I don't think makes much sense. But I understand them
think that
trying to
they-
keep it separate.
I think that they're gonna absolutely tie it all together. I think that they just can't actively.
They could wrap
say
it up in the last part. Like,
Well, we
Um,
know that they had no involvement in the movie.
Mhm.
And it was done without advising them at all. They didn't even know about it until we all knew about it.
That money grab.
Wait,
that
what?
shit,
What's
bro.
going on?
That's what the writer said.
there's a
the
movie
showrunner
with
said
Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio.
that's coming
And it's
out
not connected
next
to
year.
this?
Yeah,
You're
not, well, it's like in
apparently
the
no.
same like, isn't it like in the same like world universe? But like,
better
it's-
be, bro.
It's just not like.
That's
They
what
just
I.
Karate
haven't-
Kid.
that's-
We are not doing multiverse.
That's
type
what
shit,
I'm
bro. That's
worried
just
about.
Karate
Is
Kid.
like if
They-
that comes out just a couple months
Miguel,
after the
30 years
finale,
later,
and it like
out of a portal.
ignores or
But they-
retcons anything. I'm so nervous about
Yeah.
it because
know,
the
yeah.
showrunner said that like they didn't know about this movie until Sony announced it.
That's so, bro. See, that's the
Any
one
of
thing I
those
can't
kids.
stand.
Any of those kids from the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie would beat Daniel LaRusso's ass. Like any of those kids. I
Bro,
don't think-
people be saying the same thing about like any karate show. They're like, yo, wait for Jack from Kicking It to pop up.
Now the guy from Kung Pao is gonna come in here, bro. Or Kung Fu Hustle. Is that like the guy that kicks the cow or some shit like that? I don't know if y'all ever seen that, but that movie's wild.
Oh, Kung Fu. Yeah,
Yeah, like Kung Pao. Yeah, like the guy that
Kung
talks
Pao
like
with
this.
the tongue.
Like the girl with the
I don't
one
mind.
boob or something like that. Yeah, and the baby rolls down the mountain. Yeah, that's a funny ass movie. But...
It is a funny movie. I haven't seen that in a while. That seems like a mistake. That seems like a movie that no one's gonna go see.
However, after it was announced, probably because of backlash, I would imagine, or at least concern, they did let them have a pass at the script before they went into shooting.
Okay.
So they did get to give notes on the final script.
The story is the kids. I mean, a good script, good writing can solve anything. But to my mind, the next conclusion would be these kids growing up and having more serious tournaments or more serious.
Because
we
get it. They cast.
They're already 30 in real life, so
right. So
we got a new Karate Kid that they've cast for the movie. Who's going to be the lead, and then Jackie Chan and Daniel will both be in it. Sensei,
which is something
whatever,
I know I was so excited to like, if this was ever announced, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so amazing. But the idea that like they just didn't take into consideration how valuable or how much we value Cobra Kai. Like, I understand they're doing this because of how valuable Cobra Kai is. Like, they're banking off of like the you know, of course, what they can make. But realistically, it's just like, bro, like, how hard is it? Like, tossing a few extra bucks to make it so everyone appreciates it. Like, you'll make money if you do it the right way.
But
show Robbie's an instructor
you guys,
in school or something.
I mean, I think you guys are going off of. I think you guys are going off of what you're assuming that it's gonna be. I mean, I'm not saying that this is gonna absolutely be a tie-in, but we really don't know. And I think it'd be better than taking the Marvel approach of spoiling like what it's actually gonna be. Like, we really don't know. And I think the separation and the amount of time it's going to take between when Cobra Kai is done to get to this movie, that's very much so intentional. And I don't think it's just banking on the fact that the Karate Kid legacy. It would behoove them not to do something in the terms of connectivity, especially the road that we're leading down. So I'm just saying I would just hold and just see. I understand it, but
I think it's not going to draw any.
Will Smith is still going to be an executive producer.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I think what I'm hoping literally is just that, and what I would assume any well-meaning executive, if those exist, would do at Sony, is just like, if we wanted to do this anniversary thing where we bring the two Karate Kid universes together under the same thing, is just do everything in your power not to mention or allude to anything that could conflict with what's not written yet in Cobra Kai, because they wouldn't have known when they started the project.
This is the first.
So as long as it's just off on its own, I'm totally fine. What my concern is, like, if there's any little thing in there that sets it or Cobra Kai somewhere else. That's just all I'm worried about. And we're not going to know until it comes out, but it's just, I don't trust Sony to do anything with their live action movies, man.
Well, you have to be writing different things. I don't want to see Daniel go through the same character arc I saw him go through in season 5 of Cobra Kai. You know what I mean? Like Daniel, you learned that lesson. You remember that? Like a year ago? You and Johnny and Chosen were hanging out. You had the conversation. No, we're not. No, okay. All right, Daniel.
Karate Kid movie. I do not care about this at all.
No, I might be with Cody.
We'll have to see once the trailer drops.
It was supposed to come out this December.
That's interesting, and that's really, this is literally the first I'm hearing about it. And
now I was trying to figure out how to share pictures on this thing so I could show you guys the new Karate Kid. But they already casted him, so I know it's gonna be interesting to see how they play it.
Hopefully it's good.
Maybe it's good. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll be great. We'll be like, oh wow.
The kid that they casted was just in the Disney show with Michelle. I forgot the name of it. God,
the one with like
really
all
good
the.
job.
I know which one you're talking about. I forgot the name of it though.
From American Born Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah, he is awesome.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be a change of pace. We've already, they took so much time building this up and making this what it is, and to know that we're restarting, and it's not like to me, it would be cool if it was a continuation, or they were just branding it as a continuation. That way, it didn't feel like a restart. But with everything that they're kind of like promoting it as and what they're talking about it, with how they're talking about it, it's just making me a little worried. I know I'm still gonna enjoy it, but realistically, it's like we've built such a bond to
Yeah.
this show. It's
Right.
just hard to
It
know
probably
that.
wouldn't be that big a deal if Cobra Kai is the only reason we're talking about the Karate Kid right now.
Yeah,
Right.
for
It
sure.
seems to
That's
be
a good
respectful.
point. That's a really good point. Yeah,
Like-
like them doing this and being like, it has nothing to do with what you currently love. It's like get the hell out of
Bro,
here.
in a perfect world, we would have Cobra Kai heavily involved with it, and we would have a Barney Stinson cameo with him in the crowd, just to acknowledge the fact that he is the reason we got Cobra
I'm
Kai.
surprised he hasn't shown up, to be honest.
I know.
Yeah,
At
I
least
know.
Neil Patrick Harris.
He popped up in How I Met Your Father, but he can't pop up in Cobra Kai. Come on.
Priorities.
See, I just imagine that I could come back to these kids again in like 10, 15 years. And like, all right, let's get the next chapter of Cobra Kai. Or whatever.
Cobra Kai does not have to end at all, ever. It does not
We're-
have to end.
We'll
Are
get,
you all ready for
Miguel
the new
and
show Miyagi
Robbie.
though, where it's them 15 years from now with their own kids?
Yeah, Miguel and
I'd
Robbie is
watch Miyagi
fucking-
though. I'd watch Eagle Fang.
Make it a legacy franchise, and you pick up, and then like, all right, now we got Robbie and Miguel as teachers, or whatever it was going on, and yeah, I don't know. I think it just feels weird to have a movie without them connected or have them involved in it, but it still could be good. I'm not going. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't.
I don't want the
we
show
don't
to
know
be
anything.
over, bro. I love this show. It's great.
It's got to end now, but like,
It's just like Stranger Things. I don't want.
I just don't want it
because
to
I
end
just-
without Julie.
Yeah.
If we end and there's still no Julie, I'm
Sure.
going to be a little sad.
And they've done such a good job kind of implementing or just throwing characters from the other movies.
I need
like
one death.
Mike
They
Barnes
brought
does
back
it.
Hurricane Girl. They could bring back Julie.
But like the fact that they brought back, oh yeah, that was a really cool touch. That was
Yeah.
a really cool touch.
wait,
But
who's Hurricane Girl?
from
the,
the
girl,
second
the little
movie.
girl Daniel saved from the when the
Oh
hurricane
yeah,
hit
yeah,
the
yeah,
village.
Yeah, her popping up and she's like a CEO.
Oh shit!
She's
It's like, you
did
saved my
this."
life. I'll save your business. I mean, fair trade, right?
Yeah, you saved my life. So I'll
Again,
give
we
you
don't
like
care
$10
about your
million.
credit. You know karate. Your karate saved you from that hurricane storm.
I'm waiting to see where the plot. I am waiting to see where the plot shifts though, because it's still a children's karate tournament, but at the same time, Terry Silver definitely tried to murder Chosen. Right?
I need someone to die.
And so it's
88
it's this-
stitches, bro.
It's right. I'm like 88 stitches. Like that was surgery. That's not. That's not stitches. At that point, that's something different. Like yeah, because it's really I keep laughing at the whole fact that it's like people have died here, and I'm like at a kids karate tournament. Okay,
Permission slips and stuff had to go out to people to take your kid outside the country. Like, who signed off on this? Who didn't look this up?
Yeah, your State Farm insurance has no business here. It doesn't work. Like it's just like I don't know. It's really I'm interested in seeing where this goes, but I'm super excited for it because what makes Cobra Kai work is that it has no problem jumping the shark at all. It has no issues with it because that's what the 80s was, and they're just taking the same 80s plot and just bringing it here, which makes it more fun and more ridiculous. And so I am here for it, and it's also still extremely wholesome. And so I'm super excited about it. I like what these first 5 episodes did exactly what they needed it to do, because I'm just sitting here wondering, I'm like, what happens next? Where's it going? And I can't wait because it's a lot of fun and it's really
It is
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
Hey, I also think that the Cobra Kai teacher over in Korea or whatever, he's just making stuff up, right? Like he's like, "Oh, you attacked me. Now you're ready." Like, "Oh, you survived." It's like, you didn't
plan that.
You didn't plan that, old man.
Plan that. Get out of there.
Making this up as you go along. Yeah.
No.
Like with the way she was like, She's like, bro, you sent him to his death, and he's like trying to brush it off as something else. And when he comes back, he was
That's
like,
why
I
I
don't.
think he put that knife out there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
He's
not
like,
there.
there was a
for-
knife. Oh,
That
Yeah,
has not been there since World War
Whoops.
One or whatever the hell he said.
you actually found a knife. I mean, yeah, you
Right.
found my knife. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
hey, tell him to do something else. Yeah.
What do you mean
But
there was
yeah,
a
I
snake
mean,
there? Like,
I think me
You got bit.
personally,
You okay?
I think it's been a fun start to part 1. I don't know how you guys are feeling about part 2, part 3. I do kind of like the fact that we're not binging it all, because I love that we're able to talk about it. It's gonna stretch into November, and then of course 2025 when we get the part 3, which is probably going to come out like right before the film does, which is
It'd be
the
literally
only
the month
reason I'm
before
holding
if
out the
they-
hope.
Wait.
Yeah.
We
If
don't
they
get the
keep
third part.
spacing,
Sorry.
Third part's not coming out till 2025, bro.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That is just a new season. like,
Yeah,
like that's,
we're getting
that's just a
season
new
7
season.
in
Just call it a new season. What is going on here?
because I
I wonder
think
when
part 2
we'll-
drops in what, November?
Yeah, November
November.
15th.
Yeah.
right?
they moved
Okay.
it up 2 weeks.
Same day as my
That's a
son's
part
birthday.
2.
Ooh.
That's part
Nice.
2,
That's
November.
Good. That's a good gift.
I'll be up
So
at
if they
Yeah,
keep
that's
like
fantastic.
if they keep a similar spacing, it would line up with the final part coming up either the month before or the same month as the movie,
Okay.
I wonder when we'll get a trailer for part 2 though.
which will be
Next
interesting.
month?
I'm
September?
surprised we haven't gotten it yet. They usually try to drop
Teaser.
something small, like a little teaser.
Man, I was thinking there was going to be a trailer at the end of the
Ooh.
5th episode.
Hey, yo, we got San
I
Diego
love that
Comic Con.
too.
We got Comic Con right around the corner. Maybe they're giving us a little something
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's true.
Who knows? Or maybe Galaxy Con, considering that my boy Omni's going to be there, so he's going to be covering it. But you said that
Ow.
there's going to be a few people there.
Cove, Johnny, and
Zola.
Hawk, and did I just say Hulk? Hawk
No, you said Hawk, yeah.
and Miguel are all
haven't
there.
got
Wait,
his theme
Galaxy
song on.
Con, you talking about the one in Raleigh?
Yeah,
Oh, you're in my neck of the woods. Cool.
yeah, I'll be there all weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so no, maybe if they do something, maybe they'll show a little snippet. Who knows? But that is something that would be pretty cool. But I'm truly excited to see what they do next. I don't know where Sam is.
I like 1000% trust these guys with this
Oh,
this
yeah, no.
property at this
I'm
point.
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're
they
killing it.
definitely put their heart into it. And so, yeah, it's their baby. And so, yeah, I respect that.
Go the bang.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we have any final thoughts. I was hoping Sam would be here to talk a little bit, but I'm sure he's a busy man. But do you guys have anything you want to say about what your
Bro,
hopes are, what you're
Omni's
excited
got
for?
me. Omni's got me thinking about that 12-foot drop that Hawk's gonna take, bro.
Ah.
Fuck. Bro's gonna die.
12 feet safe. He good.
Gotta be one death. Come on now.
He can walk that off. He gonna be
Nah,
fine.
he got wings, bro. He's a hawk. He'll be
Yeah,
fine, man.
man.
I ain't worried.
Yeah, man.
I just need one more Hawk badass moment where he jumps up on the mat and they play his
heard-
Oh
little-
yeah, he does his
Oh,
fucking.
okay. Yeah,
We
like,
get the little hawk sound in
Yeah.
the back. Yeah.
I want Miguel's dad to be a sponsor of this tournament with his drug money.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm like. Look, if you're gonna jump the shark, jump the damn shark. Let's
Yeah.
go. Like,
I forgot about Carmen having a baby too. That's gonna be in one of these.
Bro,
parts.
yeah, how
Island
crazy
of
would it be
international laws.
if Kreese tries to actually have people try to jump Miguel, and so Miguel's dad just has like the cartel like roll up?
oh,
That
nah,
would be so fucking dumb.
Kreese still in that baby. That's happening.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that would be nuts.
Dude,
gonna
I
spit-
know
he gonna
I
spill
thought
that
this
baby.
immediately.
If you
But
want
did
turn,
it-
your son will.
Did
Your
anybody
girl
else-
will.
Did anybody else have the initial gut reaction that Kreese killed Tori's mom?
Oh, bro, I didn't
No,
thought
I
that.
didn't think
No,
about
I
that.
thought that.
No,
That's
you
literally what I
went
said in my
dark.
video.
You
I'm
went
like, bro,
completely dark.
Like,
If he
the
did
way that
then
the
yeah,
game
no
played
one
out,
mentioned.
because that was like he was in the parking garage, and then the
Yeah,
next
and then it
scene
skipped,
she was.
yeah.
Oh,
She
she
was
Batman
dead.
Beyond her.
I
And
said that
that
in my
was the
reaction.
episode after he was like, "I gotta tear out the heart,"
No. Oh my god.
Batman
That would've been
Beyond
really
her?
and
bad.
she was
You better
clutching,
not.
and she was
No.
clutching her
Oh.
fist.
Yeah, that's literally what I thought.
I mean,
I literally said that in my
I
video.
think,
I'm like, dude, did Kreese
while
just
it-
fucking kill her?
dude, like, yes, I know I'm not the only one. That,
Okay, I'm
that,
gonna
but,
like.
God.
I'm gonna
didn't
reverse
think
my
that. Good
prediction
Lord.
about that. If he killed her mom, that's it for Kreese. Kreese can't come back.
Nah,
right.
bro,
Like, he's
there's no
already
way.
I think
an
the point of the
escaped
fist because
felon.
they focused on the fist. I think
But
that
Tori
was just
might
he
kill
was-
him. if he killed Tori's mom, there might be a Tori almost kills Kreese moment. I can see that.
I think the fist was just to genuinely like to just show how that was gonna kind of carry on to the next scene.
Well,
Because
they
obviously
didn't show a scene that shows it, but I think she was gripping that bottle cap.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Who the
because
mom?
I thought that was
Yeah.
just a
Flashback.
Well, I know like
representation,
usually
like-
when someone has like a seizure or a stroke, usually that's like a just something that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like they tense up. So I wasn't sure if that was kind of like where they were going.
When y'all find my body holding a bottle, just know that's how I went out.
Yo,
I can tell you. I don't-
shout out to oh, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure it was meant to be the bottle cap from the flashback. She was like, "This is to protect you," and she was because it was in her bag of stuff that was given to her at the hospital.
Ooh,
So that was with her mother.
Peyton List, Tori,
So
favorite character this part. She was really good.
She's been interesting.
Very good job.
She killed it.
Yeah, no, really
in
good.
this.
A lot of emotion.
Like her mom.
Yeah, no.
I thought that it really does sit well next to what we know about Kreese's story and like what happened with his girlfriend when he was over when he was overseas and everything. And so I feel like
and
they're really
mom.
setting it up. Yeah, exactly. And so they're really setting it up for Tori to really it's almost going to be one of those things like, okay, are they going to be able to stop her from becoming the next Kreese, or is she fully going to embrace Palpatine, basically?
Yeah, I don't think he did do this. I don't think he did do it. But that was just like that was just like my gut thought because of the editing there.
Like,
and I know I'm not the only one that has jumped to that conclusion from what I've seen in my
flew
comments.
from Asia to kill her sick mom. That's diabolical.
Flies back.
It's like I will get her on my team, and this is how.
No passport. Like this is hitting Fast and Furious.
Could go by boat, bro.
Now.
Look, make her as her, like I said, make him her father. I'm all for that too. Like I want to amp up the soap opera stuff and add karate, and I'm all here for it. I'm good.
Let's do it.
I'm
Let's
good.
do it. Young and the Restless would be great with karate.
Dude, this show's already so much, man. If they add even more of a
lot.
soap opera vibe to it, like I don't
Days
know
of our karate lives.
I want to see Sean a little more.
Isn't my child? You're my child.
Isn't the actor from Mike Barnes like primarily in soaps?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's like his thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to see more of Kenny's brother. I like Kenny's brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like they didn't just make him a thug. Like he, they made him a smart young guy that talked about his anger issue.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
My boy was in The Walking Dead, bro.
Oh yeah,
I kept mistakenly calling him Elijah.
Bro.
I mean, it's easy because they got rid of one black person. They killed every time they brought a new black person to Walking Dead, they had to kill the one they had already.
Oh yeah, they always kept it rolling.
It was so weird. It was a very weird trend.
Yeah.
Aren't y'all in Atlanta? Like
this ain't realistic at all. This whole cast should be black.
It really should be reversed.
Like, yeah, because they moved from Atlanta and then went to DC, and I'm like, y'all don't know how this works at all.
And they ended up in Charleston for a hot minute for some reason. West Virginia. I was like, what the hell? What is going on anymore?
Oh man.
Let me show you all a map real quick.
Like, this show should be black as hell. Like,
oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with this, man.
I want more.
It feels like it just gets more ridiculous and ridiculous as we progress.
So sad when it closes.
Oh my god, for sure. I mean, like the only thing that's gonna somewhat keep me sane is hoping that we're gonna get something small in the new movie. But realistically, I don't know what they're doing there. But I've had so much fun with this show. Again, just the only time I got YouTube Red, I literally like activated my subscription for Cobra Kai. You know, when they dropped it. I mean,
I did
was
it to listen to videos without having to have it open.
Oh,
I still have it for some reason.
I was like,
and then I got it.
Man.
Wayne was the
only one watching.
I pirated it, and then I felt bad for pirating.
We're live.
What happened.
So he reformed, and then he paid for it all.
He paid for it, bro.
Yeah.
He paid for mine too, bro. YouTube, relax.
But Cobra Kai, and there was another show in there called Wayne that I really
Wayne was cooked, bro. That was kind of good. That was good. That was really good.
People thought I was weird for watching Cobra Kai. They thought I was stupid.
Man.
Like, look at it now, bro. Come on now.
Nah, yeah,
See,
nah.
I would have clowned him then. I'd be like, let me live. Like, yo, like, you're the one
Bro,
that's not
YouTube Red was
enjoying it.
just a crazy name.
Have fun with
too,
your
but-
commercials while you watch video.
Right. I'm enjoying my 80s karate.
for sure, for sure. But it being picked up by Netflix, of course, being
Lots
probably
of
one of
good
the best
Netflix
thing
stuff.
that's ever happened.
That was a good move.
Netflix won on that one.
Netflix usually
good
knows when to
move.
do that. I mean, they did the same thing with Lucifer, and Lucifer ended
Yeah.
up doing really well on Netflix.
Yeah.
They've done it with some
Netflix
other
like that,
shows,
bro.
but I'm blanking
Didn't
out.
they just
Netflix
bring back Suits? Didn't
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I didn't
I
watch
don't
Suits
think-
came when that
But
came
they're
out.
bringing Suits LA, but it's Suits LA, but they're not bringing back like the actual show.
What was
as far
that
as I know.
show? The karate show, the kung fu show, Bruce Lee
Warrior.
currently Warrior. I loved Warrior. I doubt it, but I hope they give it another season.
That would be
on
dope.
Netflix.
That would be dope if they did that. That's a good show. Yeah.
Really good show.
Yeah. Good show. But yeah.
Go ahead, Netflix. Help us out there. I don't know how much that
So,
costs you.
have-
You ain't doing nothing.
Right. What you do with your life? You about to lose your karate show. Now you can have a kung fu show. We gonna
Have
watch
they,
it with the same
Bring back
audience.
Into the Badlands while you at it.
Have they finished? They finished filming part 2 and part 3, right? Like those are done.
I think it's
Part
Alright.
2's done as far as my.
We better hurry up before
my
Kenny's
knowledge.
6'7".
Right. Kenny about to be passed as the
I
MCU
don't-
next Black Panther. Like
I don't know what they're doing with part 3.
Kenny
though.
started
I don't know if
here.
they-
Now you're gonna be like, all right, Mr. LaRusso.
He gonna be bowing to him. Like,
Okay.
I'm telling you, Kenny.
I'll take my wallet. Oh, Kenny. That's really racist,
After,
Mr. Russo.
when they showed him in these first 5 episodes, I'm like, it's diabolical. He's not on that team. Like, there's no lineup that he's not in it.
Yo.
You see, my man, all these
He
games.
He had hands when he was shorter than them. Like
I know.
Like I hope
he got
Dimitri gets hurt.
reach.
I hope Dimitri gets his leg busted or
Hey, yo.
something.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
thinking they gotta
yo.
send somebody as an
Yo, bro.
alternate. I'm thinking they gotta send someone as an
Yeah,
alternate,
teams
right?
have alternates.
Teams
Yeah.
have alternates. Like
They got
I'm
an understudy
hoping,
in the
I'm
back.
hoping he gets there, especially with his dad, because
He's
they
going to
made
see his
this
dad in
mention that,
Germany.
like,
He's just gonna come
yeah,
over to
his
Spain
dad.
real quick.
He
He'll
made
drive
mention
in.
of his dad
Oh.
being like stationed in Europe. I'm like, that's like 1 or 2 countries over.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I
Boom,
forgot
take
about
a
that.
train
That's an
ride,
easy way to
4
get him
hours,
over there.
Boom.
Man, Kenny's about to show up in like a submarine, bro. Like he's
Yo.
about to show up in fashion and style. It's gonna be
No,
pretty
they
cool.
would have to see me. All of them would have to see me. I need to know who put them laxatives. Yo, hands
He
off,
needs
belly.
He gonna enter by himself and win the whole thing.
Oh my
It's
god.
just
All I
me.
want to know is put them laxatives in my bottle.
Yo.
Silver shows up with Kenny.
Yeah.
So-
Oh my god. His
No,
own
that's
little
how the-
dojo.
That's how it should end. At the end of the season, they're all drinking water, like, "Oh yeah, it's great," and Kenny's just sitting there smiling.
He just
only,
laxes
only one bathroom.
doing that Michael B. Jordan smile.
Oh, my goodness.
But I don't know if you guys want to come through with your final thoughts as we're hitting
Oh.
that 2-hour mark. This is already longer than
Oh,
I thought we were. I mean, I
I'm
love that
surprised
we're
that
having a
you're having
blast. I
fun.
love it. So I
Love
do want to say I
am
appreciate you
hungry.
guys coming through, but I'm not sure if you guys have any final thoughts that you guys want to dive into. And I definitely want to hear Sam talk for a little bit. So hopefully it works out. Anybody want to start? Am I going to have to start picking names like I'm a teacher?
I love it. Can't wait for more. Let's go.
I agree.
No, a little more than that, Draven.
No, like literally spot on. Boom. I'm excited.
There we go. That's
I need
that's
more.
enough.
Yeah.
Your turn, Keaton.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Like I said, karate is not a good replacement for therapy. I think that's what this show is basically trying to teach us. And I can't wait for more.
I can snort this stuff like Terry Silver in the 80s.
Let's go.
Bruh. My karate class 10 years ago was nothing like this. So
And
I have a coworker that goes to the gym with his patients and they do therapy while they work out. I'm just saying we can combine therapy and karate and breakthroughs could be really breakthroughs and it'd be great. I'm all for the next season of the Karate Kid.
somebody write that down.
Yeah. Well, I do love the idea of just like teaching no mercy to middle schoolers. like
hey, just look at Stingray, bro. He was
It's
he was
real
up in
out
the woods
here.
teaching like fucking like 4-year-olds.
Oh, Oh,
That
Again,
man
we could get
Stingray is legit like 30 something in the show.
we get
So,
Jet
like,
Li with the
him-
collar from
Yes,
what is it?
sir.
Unleashed. We get a
Yeah.
Jet Li with the
Yeah.
collar.
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah, him and was Bob Hoskins. Was it Bob
yeah.
Hoskins? Yeah.
Like my mom says, get them when they're young and anything's possible, or whatever you said.
That
Like,
movie
Ayo,
went hard.
I need to
Yeah.
watch
Sam,
that tonight.
before Sam's phone dies, I want him to come up with some quick thoughts. You alive, my boy? Don't tell me it died. No. Oh, okay. He's
Oh,
alive.
Okay. Nah, he went.
Yeah,
he had to go landscape.
You got anything to say?
Yeah, I think my phone is gonna die, so I don't know how much longer I can speak. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
You
crazy.
can't hear me.
I can hear
No,
you.
yeah,
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
I
Talk.
think
you.
it's
Just
delayed.
lag.
Express
Lag.
yourself.
Yeah, you see us saying yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. You just lagging.
No, it's like 3 seconds behind, so I don't know what y'all say.
All right, that's right. Say your quick review.
Talk.
Yeah, no, as far as my review on this, I love what they handled with Tori's character in this. That's probably one of the most emotional ends for any of the finales. Like to have that death and that moment where everybody got the understanding of it. It was just a very non-black and white situation. It was a level of gray. I think that as far as Daniel LaRusso, he's got to come to terms with the fact that Mr. Miyagi is not perfect. I love that aspect of the story and where it's going because that's always been the problem with Daniel. His perspective, he's better than everybody. And that's always been his downfall. That's why a lot of people carried him more to Johnny. I do find it very interesting how each character has kind of evolved and it's kind of a do or die situation. But I do feel like by the end of the tournament, the lineup is going to change. I think that
Ah,
So
no.
What did he think? What did he think?
Cliffhanger's gonna come back for part
He was
2.
about to give the most goated lineup of all
Wow.
time. It was gonna be a
Oh,
team, the
man.
dream. Like, oh man. Oh well.
They can't win them all,
Guess
but
That
we will
sucks.
never know what he was gonna say.
but yeah, you guys have anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Oh, I only
All
speak when I'm
right.
supposed to, so.
Okay, so Draven, where can we find you, my boy?
You can find me on all my socials, Draven Reacts. It's just you can type it. I had to change it. It was my full name, but I can't do that now because my fucking address got leaked. So we're done with
No,
that. Yeah,
it's
I
the
sent you a box of
Instagram
cookies.
reactions.
it was.
Oh no, Keaton, my boy.
Yeah, you can find me right here with Team JVS. You can also find me. Me and my friend Dr. Amelia Brown run a podcast, Bat Therapy. We look at mental health through the lens of comics and film. Definitely check us out. We have a lot of fun there. And these guys finally taught me into making a TikTok. So
Yeah.
JVS.Keaton. And yeah, at some point I'm gonna get up there and do something with it.
You can find me here on Team JVS, and also I got bullied into being more active on my TikTok. So you can find
I
me.
love
here
how you
at
guys are
Cole.
forgetting that this is on my channel right now.
Well, you can find me right here.
It's such a force of habit at this point, bro.
I mean, I just be out here in general. You just find me.
See, that's why I don't do this. Every time I do this. All right. Everybody.
Like that.
And the homie.
Omni Media everywhere. Find me
Yeah.
now.
Now.
He's almost to 100K.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. This man was at like 50K last week. This man's been on a grind. Omni has been going crazy with the content,
It's
the
not last
reactions. Go to his channel, go through. We're trying to get this man a play button. It's gonna be on the back of his wall. I don't know what he's replacing, but he'll figure it out. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone. We try to do this every single time a season comes out. Me and Omni have been doing this since like season 2 or 3, so it's been a couple years. We had Matthew V. Haynes joining us for a couple of for one of them or whatever, but now it's really cool to see it kind of go even bigger. And I appreciate you coming, Keaton and Draven, you tagging along. So I'm really excited. I can't wait for part 2. Definitely hope to do this again, Omni. Same thing with all you guys. But I appreciate you all and peace out, everyone.
Later.